talking franchises here, bud.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm GR69, Daniel Ehrenberg, and I'm back here to talk about the Unisols. That's right, Universal Soldier. This franchise was picked for us by the founder of Ross Flicks, Ross Beck, and he picked a doozy. All right, Universal Soldier, 6 films. We get 3 reboots. Here, there are 3 reboots of the 6 films. All right. Logan, my partner Logan Adair. How's it going?
It's going great. I've got my ear necklace on and I'm ready to talk about Unisol, I guess.
Are you listening?
I'm always listening. I'm listening at every turn. You know who else is listening? Our great friend Tim.
What's up? Shut up, Tim Allen. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, I'm GR420. So
I love it.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited, and I've been upgraded from literal listener to literal co-producer.
That's right.
And I'm here just in an attempt to persuade Ross Flicks to grant me a membership. That's why I'm here today.
That's literally why he's here. Like, well, he asked, "How do I do this?" And I was like, "Your best bet is just come back on the show."
I wish, and I hope he's not like fond of this franchise, because
I would
this
guess
is my first
is.
time.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time
I don't know what you got. I mean, finish your sentence. I'm sorry, Tim.
This was my first time seeing these first 2 movies, and I text Dan and said, "Hey, I want to make sure I'm watching the right sequel because I don't intend on watching any of the other ones."
See, I can understand that, like feeling that way during the sequel, but I gotta say, the first Universal Soldier is great.
I agree. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm prepared to be the first person that I know on Letterboxd to give this thing a 4.
You know what? I was considering it. I've been at a 3 on this baby for years. I did a rewatch apparently January 9th, 2020. Still, little did I know what was about to come. And I gave it a 3 then too. But
everyone did.
You know what really makes me want to give it a 4? I watched the second one directly after the first one. And I mean, it makes the first one feel like a masterclass in action filmmaking.
Literally.
I have to agree with you because I was lower on the Universal Soldier. Then I watched the second one. I was like, maybe that first one is low-key underrated. Because the second one is so like horrible.
Oh, second one's piss poor, man. I was really not into it. I gotta say, I didn't see much of the last 20 minutes because I was just looking at my phone. But it's a really annoying movie to watch, and it gets so much. It takes place directly after the first one, and it gets so much continuity shit wrong.
Yeah, they've reshoot the ending of the first movie, and like the way she dies or fake dies is like way different. Like she stands up and runs over to him rather than him walking over to her dead body and like checking her out.
And there are no holes in that barn. But I'll tell you, there's much worse stuff. The eye thing, like the little eye device that they put on.
Yeah,
it's on the wrong side.
It's on the wrong eye.
No way.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they re-put the little tracking device in his leg that they pulled out in the first one, and it's in the wrong leg in the second one.
Yeah, that was insane. I mid watching the second one, I was Googling, wait, wasn't it on their other eye? Like, why would they switch eyes and everything? And it's just like a prop mistake. It's so funny.
This movie drove me crazy.
They used all the left eye ones, so now they were only stuck with the ones for the right eye pieces.
Is it because Left Eye died?
Yeah, R.I.P.
Oh,
oh, that's good stuff, man. I was watching like a football documentary once, and I didn't realize. Well, I've watched more than one, but one time I was watching one, and I didn't know one of the football guys in the movie was the guy that like cheated on Left Eye or whatever. And then it came up just randomly in the middle of the season, and I was like, "Oh, what a great twist!"
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Universal Soldier, shall we?
Yeah, I'm excited. This was mine and Tim's first time seeing it. I've never seen it either.
What a classic it is. I've seen it many times, but I've only seen this one. I've never seen any of the sequels. So this is an exciting new project for me.
He's coming back, right? JCVD. Or he was only in that
JCVD. No. He comes back for 4, 5, and 6. So don't even worry about it.
But next week,
I think Dolph comes back too, even though he was
that's
like
exciting.
put through a thresher at the end of the first one, like
Yeah, hey-
Jason in Friday the 13th, 2009.
Logan, I
Okay,
got great news about the third one because I looked at the poster. You got both of the main actors coming back for
Yeah.
that one, and the brother who died in the second one
Yeah.
is on the
What?
cover. Yeah,
The second and third one, they were filmed concurrently over the course of 2 months. They like switched back and forth between scenes.
Well,
yeah.
that's
Why
exciting.
that's why the second movie just kind of ends. Like at one point, I paused
There are
it. And
cliffhangers and shit.
I'm like, there's 10 minutes left to this movie. I don't feel like they're at the like Roadhouse bar at the end, and I'm like, what? This is where the resolution of this movie's gonna be, and yeah, it's just because it's
It had a
an
nice resolution. We
extended-
gave a Vietnam veteran some jewels.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And we buried the brother in the cemetery from the beginning of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, what are you guys talking about? That had a nice resolution.
Yeah.
There are, like, two
Arlington,
scenes at
is
the
that
end.
what it is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I
in
don't care
Texas,
about
isn't it?
military
Arlington,
stuff.
Texas?
I'm
no,
sorry.
Arlington is in Washington D.C.
I gotta tell you, I thought it was in Texas too.
Yeah,
There's something that
I-
sounds like that in Texas for sure.
I think there is an Arlington in Texas, and I always assumed that's where that cemetery was.
It's a
Yeah, I
it's
think we're
a
right.
city. Yeah, it's a city named Arlington in Texas. And but
Is that true? Are you looking
Arlington-
at something?
No,
No, I know that.
Yeah, I've been to Arlington National Cemetery in Washington D.C.
Oh,
That's where JFK's eternal flame is. That's where the tomb of-
Oh, is
the
it really
two-
eternal? Has it ever gone out?
well, when I was there, it did not go out. So
That's the greatest prank in the world. Someone's got to pop that out.
what? Wait,
you
why?
go to jail. That's not a prank.
Yeah, they'd execute you on site, I believe.
I bet it's a pretty good prank, though, man. If you could pull that baby off, you could pull anything off. I'm looking at you, Jamie Kennedy.
Oh,
He
you
should
got
do that.
JFK got X'd.
Yeah, that's what I want.
By the way, Arlington is a city in Texas. I looked it up.
We
Yeah, no
knew
shit.
that. You
Yeah,
didn't
no
need
shit.
to look it up.
Oh, I thought it was up for debate. Oh, okay.
No, but listen, Arlington Cemetery. Why is it called that?
I don't know.
Why is
Nobody
anything
knows.
named anything? I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's Springfields in like every state, right? Like, that's why Springfield in The Simpsons is
Simpsons.
named that.
Right. I don't even really know why this movie's called Universal Soldier.
Uh,
I mean, I know that's the name of the project, but I don't know why. What's so universal about them?
They're dead.
guys, I have many questions. Are they robots? Are they zombies?
No,
What's
they're
going
kind-
on?
They're kind of zombies. They're reanimated using cybernetics.
But if they're not robots, how come every time he turns his neck, we hear a shh?
Because they're kind of like cyborgs.
That's a robot,
Ooh.
no?
Booyah!
No. Cyborg is a human robot hybrid, guys.
Yeah, booyah!
So it's
Why-
like a
why-
third zombie,
why
a third
booyah?
human, a third robot.
Oh,
That's
Sabuya, I get it. Cyborg from Justice League. All right, sorry, Logan. What was up?
He's like a third human, a third cyborg, or a third robot, and a third zombie, basically.
He's Adam. He's Adam from season
Oh.
4 of
Oh,
Buffy,
that
right?
is 100% what he is. He's Adam from season 4 of Buffy.
Good call.
But imagine it's not cobbled together from different dudes. It's just all the parts are from one dude.
that's kind of
Yeah.
what I thought he was, right?
and he doesn't
I
have a
didn't get
nuclear
Adam at
core, and a thresher would be able. They should have just kicked Adam into a thresher. That would have been good.
How did we
right?
kill Adam?
Well, they combined their forces, the 4 of them, and
Oh,
turned
yeah.
into a matrix
hand-
creature.
Xander was
Yeah.
proud of that moment.
the
He
heart,
liked
the
to mention that.
hand, the
He was the
mind.
heart.
brain.
Xander.
Yeah. Vander was the heart. Giles was the mind. Buffy was the hand, and
And
Willow did something.
She was
And
in the mind,
Buffy-
Willow.
No, that was
She was like the
Giles.
magic.
Remember?
She
That was
pulled it
Giles.
off.
I always remember Giles as the mind because in the Dream episode Restless, they scalp him.
Yeah,
And
take out his brain.
Lane is the beast. Hayden is the animal.
And then
Matt,
so it's the meow meow.
and so is the
Meow,
meow meow.
Yeah, and remember then Buffy does the Matrix where she stops all the bullets and it looks really good.
And it turns them
Yeah.
into doves.
Yeah, that was awesome too.
Yeah. I love that episode. All right. Let's talk about Universal Soldier, guys. Now, this was originally developed as a project to be directed by Andrew Davis. You familiar with that guy?
I think so.
He's a great filmmaker. I'm a big fan. I've seen most of his stuff. But Andrew Davis, he was like a hot director at the time because he had done Above the Law with Steven Seagal. So he was going to direct this, but then got the opportunity to reteam with Steven Seagal to do Under Siege. So he bailed and did that instead.
Mhm.
And
Under Siege, top 10 early Tim sexual development movie.
oh
I
my!
think I've
Well,
seen-
there's boobs in that movie.
yeah, I've seen those boobs about 100 times easily.
Would
And
you
it's
have like
early
a?
on.
Did you have that clip like downloaded on Kazaa?
Bro, Kazaa didn't exist at that point. So I just had to hope that it would play on HBO, and anytime it was, I made sure it was within the first 20 minutes. Because
I did that with
if not-
Cruel Intentions. I would always time if Cruel Intentions was on, I would time it so that I could watch the lesbian kiss.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, Species and Under Siege, I felt were like very formative of me.
Oh,
of my life.
Species. Yeah, I get that. It's that age too, 92 to 95. How
Mhm.
old are you?
Let's see,
48.
92. I was
Just kidding.
yeah, good one. 92, I would have been 11.
11 is perfect. Oh my god, you're looking at that boobs and the boobs and Under Siege at 11. That must be
Whose
mind-blowing.
whose boobs are in Under Siege? What are we
It's
talking about?
the
It's Erica Leniak, who was
Yep.
later on Baywatch.
and Chasers was another movie where she showed her
Chasers,
boobs.
yes.
You guys are so horny.
Kim Chasinger. All right. Wasn't she in that?
I don't know.
I
I don't
think
remember
so.
that. It was Tom Sizemore, right? And Chris O'Donnell, and then Erica, whatever her name was.
Eleniak.
Yeah, that was the crew of Chasers.
Yeah, so you're into Eleniak and Henstridge as a teen boy. I get it.
Baywatch was a big thing for me. So
I mean, for me too. I remember my first ever sexual dream had Pamela Anderson in it.
Wow.
ooh, was she driving a boat, or were you driving a boat?
No, I was touching her boobs.
Oh, not with your penis. Okay.
No, just my hands, just massaging them. All right. Now I remember telling my sister about that and she was annoyed. She was like, "That's so generic. Like, get a better crush." And I was like, "I do in real life. I can't control my dreams."
Yeah,
All
your
right.
sister's like, yeah, Jenny McCarthy at least.
Yeah, I know. Which I mean, she's probably right about. Although she became like an anti-vaxxer and shit. All right.
Yeah, Jim
She
So-
does kiss on New Year's every single year.
She does. Donnie Wahlberg. They fucking suck face on New Year's every year. Thank you for bringing that up, Logan.
You're welcome.
All right. So Roland Emmerich is brought in to replace Andrew Davis. Now, he was directing movies in Germany up until now, but they brought him to America to direct this film Isobar. Now, Isobar is a legendary unmade science fiction film that takes place on a futuristic train in the future. The whole movie is about a runaway future train. All right. And I think Stallone was supposed to be in it. It was in development for like over 10 years. I've read so much about this movie, and I think I've read the screenplay even, but it never got made.
And then they made
Well,
Snowpiercer, though. It sounds
yeah,
like
Snow-
that.
Yeah,
Snow-
yeah. Snowpiercer is probably similar, but Isobar was supposed to be this like big ass budget. Like they were gonna spend like $150 million on it or some shit.
Is there a part where they just cut a fish for no reason in Isobar?
Do they do that in Snowpiercer?
Yeah,
I
there's
never
a
saw
part. There's a part where a guy comes out with a fish and he has an axe and he like cuts open the fish, and then it has nothing to do with the plot.
Remember when you find out what they're eating and it's like bugs? or
It's just
something?
bugs. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
it's not even that bad. You're like expecting them to be like eating other people, but then it's just cockroaches, and it's like, okay, well, that's protein. I mean, could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the future. Where else are they getting protein from? At least they're not cooking you, motherfucker. All right. Sorry. All right. So Roland comes to America to do ISO bar. Rolling. What? All right. I love that song. I can't stop singing that song when somebody.
That probably plays in one of the sequels.
Oh, I hope so.
Based on
I
the
hope
soundtrack to the second movie.
Yeah, I hope it plays like the music in the sequel, where it's the full song and it's like a montage music video.
And they're all Canadian bands in the second one, man.
Oh, wow.
Like one of them was Biff Naked, who Logan performed at a fraternity party in an episode of Buffy while Buffy was having sex with Parker.
That one episode you liked with the phone call?
What?
The guy's trying to get on the phone call? That party?
No, not that part.
That's the only party I can think of.
No, it's a frat party in college.
That's Dead Man's Party, and that's in high school.
It's the one where, like, remember, like, Riley was, like, Willow's trying to give Riley tips on how to talk to Buffy?
No.
Man, god damn it.
What about Willow the party where they all have sex? Like, they're all horny, Logan. That's like the most famous
it ends
party.
like with them all like
that. No, that was a different party.
That's
yeah,
I'm saying it's a different party. Yeah, but Logan said he couldn't remember one party, and I'm like, what about the one where Buffy and Riley have sex the entire episode?
Yeah, and that girl goes all Felicity on her hair.
Yeah, and there's a wall where they touch and they just orgasm. Remember that? People are just walking up, coming.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
That's good.
Buffy's an excellent show, everybody. Check
out Buffy, yeah.
And Buffy's Angels alongside it.
If you like Universal Soldier, instead of watching the sequel, check out Buffy.
Any episode.
Well, yeah, no, season 4, you have a Universal Soldier.
That's true. In season 4, they fight a Universal Soldier. All right. So Emmerich, when Isobar falls apart, they hire him to replace Andrew Davis on Universal Soldier. That's how this happened. But Roland insisted on using his own guy, Dean Devlin, to do a rewrite because he loves Dean at this point, and they work together through like the Patriot or something. And so the original script was by Christopher Leach and Richard Rothstein. Now, we've covered Christopher Leach before, weirdly, but not as a writer, as a director. He directed Teen Wolf as well.
Wow. No relation to David Leach, right?
I don't believe so. Although you never know in this fucking business.
I know. I feel like that's annoying, like asking if people are related, but we've come across so many that are. I like to figure it out.
No, it's like the one it's the one sort of thing it makes sense to constantly ask that in, because there's just so much nepotism in Hollywood.
Right. I learned there's a singer, Sabrina Carpenter. You know who that is?
Yeah, she's dating Barry Cogan.
That's exactly right. I learned yesterday she's the niece of
Chris Carpenter
Bart
from the St.
Simpson.
Louis Cardinals.
What?
All right, what were you gonna say?
Wait,
the voice actor?
Carpenter?
No. The voice actor for Bart Simpson.
Yardley Smith?
No, that's Lisa, you dumbass.
Oh, sorry.
Nancy Cartwright. Sabrina Carpenter is her niece. I learned that yesterday.
Whoa, don't have a cow, man.
Cartwright, party of 4. That's from the Chinese restaurant episode.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Amazing.
Thank you. All right.
Nobody thinks that's a crazy fact. I thought that was wild.
I mean, it is. But it's just that happens constantly now.
Did you guys see that Seinfeld?
It's like how Bill Hader's uncle is George Wendt from Cheers.
Whoa. Did you guys see this? Did you see how Seinfeld said they wouldn't be able to make Seinfeld now because of woke?
I'm like,
Larry did it.
Have you seen Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah, he literally did it again.
Everybody is like, It's Always Sunny is on season 16.
That's true too.
They were having Danny DeVito say the F slur like 3 seasons ago. So.
Yeah, but you know what? Like half their episodes have been taken off fucking streaming services.
It's just the blackface episodes that are removed.
But they do that 3 times. There's 3 different episodes with blackface.
So
now
you're
you can't
saying
watch
that
any of them.
you're saying they have 6 episodes. Then is what you said. Half of their episodes are taken off.
Yeah.
3 of their 6.
All your favorite episodes with the blackface. Huh?
No, but also D dates a retarded person is gone. That's literally my favorite episode of It's Always
That's a
Sunny.
good one. That's a good
Yeah.
episode.
I mean, it's so frustrating.
It's a good show though. You can
It-
find it if you really want it. Come
No,
on.
it's a
Yeah.
great show. It's just unstreamable.
Ross Flicks.
I can hook you
upload
up.
upload all of
It might be
Dan's
on
favorite
there
episodes.
actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to take a look. Ross Flicks, get 30 Rock and It's Always Sunny up on Ross Flicks. Do me a fave. All right.
Community also. It has some blackface episodes.
Get Community on there as well.
Isn't that on
All
Netflix?
Original, but they took off some episodes. They
Oh,
took off
sorry.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, one of the best episodes of Community, probably top 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's Ken Jeong is doing blackface, but he's doing a drow elf, which is
Oh, that's hilarious. And no, he says
Yeah.
it's a dark elf, doesn't
yeah, well,
I'm a
that's what
dark elf.
yeah,
People
drow
don't
elf is
understand
Oh, sorry.
context or satire anymore. Context and satire are completely missing from the world.
Yeah, that's why you couldn't make Seinfeld today. You wouldn't be able to do the Chinese food episode. We're agreeing with Seinfeld, is what we're saying, right? We're excited for
no.
Pop
The,
Tarts
Super
the
Nazi
Seinfeld
couldn't
thing's a
exist.
completely different thing. No, I mean it could. Seinfeld, it was on network television.
I'm kidding.
Like
I
it
know.
wasn't that
yeah, I'm
bad.
joking. Yeah, I know, I'm joking.
Curb pushes the envelope so much more than Seinfeld ever did. So Seinfeld's obnoxious for saying that.
I
And he
just
gained so much goodwill from me in
From
that
being in the
last Curb
finale.
episode. Yeah,
Yeah, you're so
Yeah.
good.
he was good in that finale.
I
and
agree.
I was thinking, I was just thinking about some of the crazier parts of Curb, and like the one that gets me is when he wears the shoes from the Holocaust Museum. That's just like,
you know what?
crazy.
No other show could get away with that. It's just that Larry is such an outspoken Jew that like people are like, I guess it's okay.
It is okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
that does make it okay.
Yeah. Also, people don't really give a shit when you make fun of us. Anyway,
I think they would. I think if anyone else did that, it wouldn't be okay. But because it's Larry,
I
it is
think
okay.
if you have one Jew involved in the show, even in a supporting character role, then it makes it okay to people.
It's like the difference in those scary movies, like the racism jokes early on between later on when the weigh-ins aren't
You're
attached to it.
totally right. That's a great comparison.
Yeah, it's way different.
Hey, Dan, I just read something about one of our favorite shows to discuss on We Love Kids Movies. Of course, Dr. House MD. We love that show, right?
Yeah, you know, my girlfriend's been playing Fallout, and there's a Mr. House that's like the main villain of it, and I keep saying like, oh man, what's he doing? He like renounced medical mysteries, and now he's like running the wasteland.
Well, it seems like this is before he went to 7 years of medical school to be the world's most advanced diagnostician.
Are we doing a prequel?
Yeah, it's a prequel.
You guys are
Oh
watching
my
and
God.
playing Fallout?
We finished watching it. We watched it in like 2 days, but you know, she has been playing the game all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, you got her back into it.
Yeah.
I'm 2 episodes from the end of Fallout, by the way. Like it a
Whoa.
lot. Really fun. So,
Good show, gang.
But Dan, did you know that, of course, House's main sidekick, his Watson to his Sherlock Holmes, is Wilson, right? No,
Oh,
Cuddy's his
Wilson, right,
girlfriend,
right.
you dumbass. What the
No,
fuck?
Wilson used to come to Barnes and Noble all the time. He was a sweet
Yeah,
guy.
do you know what his character's name was? I mean, Wilson is Jewish on the show, right? So is Cuddy. And House is a racist, right? So he would always talk about that.
Sure.
Do you know what Wilson's first and middle name are?
No.
He's James Wilson, and his middle name starts with an E. His initials, Dan.
Elijah? Oh, his
Uh,
initials are Jew.
Yeah.
By the
They
way,
did- they
James
did that.
Wilson is probably the least Jewy name in fucking history.
James Wilson.
Yeah. All right. Can we go back to Universal Soldier?
I
Yeah.
guess.
All right. Logan. I'm sorry.
That
I'm
was
used to yelling
Tim.
at Logan.
That was
Tim. Tim, you gotta let us
I'm
get on
excited.
with the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will.
All right. So Roland and Dean
Roland,
make
Roland,
Universal
Roland.
Soldier, and it comes out July 10th, 1992, on a budget of $23 million, and it goes on to make $95 million.
Wow.
That's pretty good. All right. It came in at number 40, directly between Mo Money and Honeymoon in Vegas, two classics from 1992. But for franchise purposes, how about I took this note? It made less than The Mighty Ducks, but more than Three Ninjas.
More than Three Ninjas. That's
Yeah.
sad.
Mm.
Yeah.
But this year is like one of the biggest franchise years we've ever done. Have you noticed this, by the way?
I mean,
So
Batman
many movies.
Returns is that
Batman
year?
Returns, Muppet Christmas Carol, El Mariachi, Aladdin, The Mighty Ducks, Home Alone, Alien, Three Ninjas.
A lot
Honey,
we've
I Blew Up the
covered.
Kids. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, a lot of them that we could. And Wayne's World, we will do at some point.
True.
The Buffy movie, I guess that doesn't count. But like, this is a huge franchise year,
What a year, 1992.
and that's only what I've seen. I'm sure there are some that I haven't seen that you've seen. So
Probably. Mo Money and Honeymoon in Vegas. Unfortunately, neither of those got a sequel. I would have
Let's
watched
do
a
it.
Mo Money sequel.
we'll make it.
You should call it Even Mo Money.
Even Mo.
That'd be offensive. Logan's Even Mo Money. I don't think that would work.
You get Damon Wayans Jr. to star in it, right?
Yeah, I'll get him. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, I'm looking forward to that movie. Logan, you better make it.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the film. Okay. It starts in Vietnam.
Awesome opening. I loved this part. I didn't know what this movie was about, by the way. I just like turned it on and watched it, and then they died, and I was like, "What?" And then like the rest of the movie happened.
I think the first time I saw it, I thought it was going to involve like space in some way because it's Universal Soldier. I thought it might be like an alien soldier, but it's not that at all.
Yeah, maybe.
This was one that I had seen the cover and the poster at the video rental place like 1,000 times, and just for some reason my parents never let me get this one, or maybe I wasn't interested. But this would be the type of film I would watch. I mean, I've seen all the Stallone and all the Schwarzeneggers, and I've seen a fair amount of Jean-Claude Van Damme. So
You got to be a Van Damme completist. I'm telling you, you watch any Van Damme movie between 1988 and 1997, you're guaranteed a good time.
yeah, and you
Guaranteed.
see his you're guaranteed to see his butt for sure. That's one thing.
His buns. They like to say buns.
His hot buns, yeah.
Yeah.
His little buns they like to show off, and then
You better believe
Little,
it.
they're
And
big and
you-
muscular.
and even in the what was interesting, Logan, what you missed out, because I know you don't know Jean-Claude Van Damme very well.
The muscles
he-
from Brussels, if you will.
Muscles from Brussels, of course. We did miss out in this one. He usually does the splits as well.
Yeah.
And
The best
Not-
version of that is, of course, in Time
Time
Cop,
Cop, yeah.
when he jumps up and does the split on his kitchen counter. Incredible.
He's also wearing a towel at the same time.
Yes!
He's doing it.
And the towel doesn't come off.
Yeah, towel doesn't come off, and he does it to avoid electricity or something.
I don't even remember the context.
they're like-
I just remember the split.
Oh no, because I always see the split, and there's like a lightning effect under him.
That's good stuff, man. Like that girl in Late Night with the Devil. All right.
Oh wow.
Also, Logan, JCVD, he tends to play twins. Or I was surprised we didn't see him fight a bad version of himself
Yeah,
in
I
Universal
would've loved
Soldier.
that.
So
Maybe in
later on.
Universal Soldier: The Return with Bill
Yeah.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
Well,
Goldberg. Speaking of Mighty Ducks,
yeah, nice. That's the second best Goldberg. Obviously, the best is my man
one who-
Goldberg.
oh,
the one who
gave-
ended Bret Hart's career.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what you're gonna say.
Yep,
It's so funny. That's all he's known for now. But he was such a huge wrestler at the time.
Yeah,
All right.
I was thinking about how you guys are on Sunday Night Wars. You've been talking about how Hogan and Flair never meet each other until they're old, and I was at one of the pay-per-views for WCW where they did fight each other. So I got to
Whoa,
see
damn.
them.
Which pay-per-view was it?
I think it was Starrcade. It was a Starrcade, I believe.
Okay.
Okay. And I saw Jericho fight Dean Malenko.
Wow, that
and-
must have been
and-
good.
And the main card that I can remember was Flair and Hogan. But of course, this was the era where David Flair was
Sure, he was around.
yeah, so he interfered, and that's
Is this
how-
where he turned heel?
He turned against Flair, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Hogan would have been heel at that point. He joined the NWO. Yeah. So he came out, and this was a big thing they used at the time. It was a cattle prod, and so he electrocuted. What was awesome too was Flair. I was on the side that was like opposite of the cameras, so Flair got knocked out of the ring at one part, and I could clearly see him blade himself.
Nice,
awesome. Yeah, it was really cool to see the blade. Yeah, and then what was also interesting was there was a dark match before, and it was Goldberg and the Giant, Big Show, right? And they it was mid Goldberg's big run,
the streak.
The streak. Okay, there was streak, and it seemed like they were practicing for him to meet the Giant, and we saw him do the jackhammer. What's his pile driver called?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
He speared the Giant and then jackhammered him, and it was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then they did it on a pay-per-view like 2 times later. So
it was like a practice match. Hey, Tim, you're never gonna get on fucking Ross Flicks if you don't let us talk about fucking Universal Soldier.
Sorry.
All right, you're not doing yourself any favors right now, I'd say.
No, that was an awesome story though. We're at a Starcade.
Yeah,
when that happens,
it's an awesome story for a different show.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm promoting the other shows on the network.
Thank you,
$5.
Patreon.com/the franchise. All right. Vietnam. We're still at the start of this first movie. Jesus. All right. So Jean-Claude. At first I was like, which side is he on? Like, because he's not American. So,
This was what was amazing was the 2 American soldiers. Neither of them had a good accent between the 2 of them. It was
I gotta say, Dolph's ain't bad. Bad
compared to Jean-Claude Van Damme's. But if these 2 guys walked into a bar and if you had to guess who were the Americans, you wouldn't guess either of them.
No, one's from Sweden and one's from Belgium.
They do comment on it later. They're like, "Why do you have a French accent?"
The way they got around the Jean-Claude Van Damme accent in this one is because I feel like there's like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies where his name is just like Jake Smith, and you just have to accept that. Right. But like in this one, like they name him like Jean-Luc, and he's like from Louisiana, and his mom is French. So
except in the second movie when she is no longer French,
and neither is the character. Even though his name is still Jean-Luc. My favorite thing about the second one is that his name is Jean-Luc.
It's just Luke.
It's not. That's what they call him consistently.
Oh, okay.
But when the mom first greets him, like when she's like, I haven't seen you in so long, she calls him Jean-Luc.
Okay. I remember.
Yeah. So
these parents,
I pay attention, bro.
Yeah, you do. You're better than me.
These parents weren't that shocked that their dead kid who had been dead for
it's kind of
40 years, 50 years.
I want like the star man.
Apparently the dad had been like working on a car all these years just in case he came back from the dead.
Yeah, he knew. He knew it was.
Hey, guys, I have a question too about this reanimation.
Wait, I wasn't done.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right,
go ahead.
But his name's Jean-Luc. That's where I got interrupted because you fuckers don't pay attention.
Yeah.
And then in the second movie, we learn he has an older brother named Eric.
Jean-Eric.
No, just Eric. So who are these fucking parents that name one kid Eric and one kid Jean-Luc?
Well, we saw even the parents in the first one. The mom is very French, but the dad is very like, hey, I'm just a normal American.
The dad's Ron Howard. He's Ron Howard's dad. I bet you Ron Howard thought that was hilarious. Like he went to see this movie and he was like, my dad's Jean-Claude Van Damme's dad. Instead, he gave birth to fucking Opie and the Ice Cream Man.
Ice Cream Man.
Wow.
You mean MTV Lifetime Achievement Award winner?
Clint Howard. That's
Clint
right.
Howard, yeah.
I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm like, which side is Jean-Claude on? And also, how old is he supposed to be? Because he's fighting in the Vietnam War, which is mostly
You're
like
actually thinking about this stuff.
Yeah. Because it's like that war was fought by like kids, right? Like 18-year-olds that got drafted and shit. So I'm like, who's this? This guy's not 18. We later find out he's supposed to be 25 in the scene, which still feels young to me. But also, like, what 25-year-old is going to Nam?
There had to have been some older people.
Yeah. My bigger question is he dies, then they bring him back like 30 years later and his
25 years. Exactly
Okay.
25 years.
Okay.
They're
25
frozen.
years later. They're frozen, so his body doesn't age at all.
Right. What's
But
your
then
problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
Walt Disney. right?
But then he gets really hot and he has to take an ice bath every now and then for some reason.
That's just a side effect of becoming a universal soldier. They all have to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but like why?
I'm
There's
shooting
zombies,
down. I'm
or
shooting down all
This
your
was
fucking
not a
problems
problem
here,
I had.
okay?
Is there like machinery
I had
in
no
his
problem.
chest? How does he heal? Like, I know in the second one they spray him with like aerosol and then that
Yeah,
heals
but
it.
in the first one, when he takes that bath in ice,
cold heals him.
like the gunshot wound closes right up.
Yeah, why?
He doesn't just heal
Like,
automatically. He has to get cold, and then that heals.
was it See, but that was like magic to me. I mean, I wish there was a magic element in this. I guess I needed.
There's all these serums we don't know about them. You know, in the first they're like injecting him with shit constantly. You know, we gotta just accept this is how it works.
Yeah, Dolph was taking all the steroids. I remember at one point his character was good.
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
had
he
no
really-
questions. I just kind of
No questions.
honestly.
Honestly, after we got out of Vietnam, I had no questions either.
I never thought like how old is this guy or what team is. I was like, he's a good guy, and he's how old you're supposed to be.
You didn't have any questions about why why he becomes a good guy. He just sort of like,
What do you mean?
I guess he has the flashback to
No, that's the thing. The reason Jean-Claude Van Damme is the best universal soldier is that he retains an element of his humanity. That's what these fuckers running the project don't realize. It takes humanity to be a great soldier. That's the message of the film, Tim.
Well, it takes you back to when you were last really a person, right? Because Dolph Lundgren's still in the store, like snapped, thinking he's still in Vietnam.
Yeah. He sees those two Asian people and he's like, "Oh right, Vietnam."
Yeah,
I would argue though, the people who are running the Universal Soldier program, why did they choose like Vietnam vets? Why not fresher corpses? And or if you're gonna do this, why choose two guys that are in the same platoon and have been killed at the same time, so you avoid any of these flashback things where even if like the memories aren't erased, why like go in with pre-existing issues, right? Like,
you might be right about this. Universal Soldier 2, of course, establishes that there are different groups of Universal Soldiers, an attempt to create different platoons. They probably should have been on different platoons.
Yeah, mix and match these guys. I mean,
they were so confident in that green memory evaporating serum.
Yeah, well, it didn't work, obviously.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
All right. So then it's so he runs into Dolph Lundgren in the jungle, and Dolph Lundgren, he's gone native. You know, he's like fucking Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now or whatever. Yeah. I thought it was a lot like Casualties of War, where like Dolph Lundgren is the Sean Penn and Jean-Claude Van Damme's the Michael J. Fox. All right, no response.
I know what that is. So
yeah.
I thought that was for Tim.
All right.
I was pity laughing because I don't get that reference either. So sorry.
Neither of you have seen Brian De Palma's Casualties of War?
Nope.
No.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
Assign it to Logan this week.
That's my next rec after Barry Lyndon, Logan.
All right.
I
like De Palma. I love seeing a lot of his movies.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? It's so Lundgren has an ear necklace. Anyone remember the joke he says in this one?
I thought you said it. Like I'm all ears or something.
No, that's later.
Can you hear me now?
The greatest thing about Lundgren in this movie is
everything
at 3 different times he holds up this ear necklace and says a joke about ears.
What's the first one?
I'm trying to remember, man. I
don't
wish
know.
I'd written them all down. I didn't become
He said-
obsessed with this until the third one.
I remember he said my favorite artist is Lisa Loeb.
Oh.
In Vietnam?
Yeah, he was on the forefront.
You wanna know the cool
crazy.
thing? The cool thing about editing is I'm gonna play the clip of the first line right now.
You just can't walk away, do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Ah, that's good shit, man.
Yeah. So I like the other ones a little more, but that was a good one.
Yeah. Good. It's good. But see,
I-
they get better as it goes along. Until after the third one, it's only like halfway through the movie. They get these ear jokes out of the way real quick. And then it's like, oh my God, like you can't say another one. Like they can't top that.
Yeah, that's true. Hey,
They
you know
don't
what's
attempt it in the second one, do they?
No. We
No,
don't even
they-
see any ear neck. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Lundgren's
Well, he's
not
dead
really,
in the second one.
yeah,
we
the
just see him.
character is threshed.
Yeah, we get him to see threshed. Hey, Logan, you know what's also cool about editing is you can play the clip of Dan saying Jesus is cool.
I'm gonna have to find that, though.
What episode was that in?
I think it was like the last, like the Big Brother one. I forgot
Oh,
which one. It was like the recent one.
Anyway, fucking Lundgren's a crazy person. He kills these Vietnamese people like just like innocents. He keeps calling them gook traitors, which I want to say, how are they traitors? They're Vietnamese.
I think
good point.
I think they like trusted, like I think these are just villagers, right? And so they're going through, I don't think they're Viet Cong. And so, but the problem is like with Vietnam was you couldn't tell the Viet Cong from like just the people who lived in Vietnam. So that's why we see a lot of Vietnam movies
But
where they
they're
kill a whole village.
Vietnamese.
Yeah, but it's a political party versus a person, right? We weren't fighting the entire country. It would be like if someone attacked the United States and said, "We're fighting MAGA," and then killed us because they thought all Americans are MAGA.
Yeah, see, that's why I gotta get back to New York because they wouldn't attack New York. It's a liberal haven.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Well, in the Great MAGA War of, wasn't this the premise of that Hunt movie?
Hunt?
But they
Oh,
probably
the
wouldn't.
hunt, right? Yeah.
But if there was like an attack on Jewish people, they probably wouldn't look in Las Vegas, right? So you're
No, they
probably-
look in New York. It's
Yeah,
true.
so you're safer in Vegas.
Yeah. I'm safer in Vegas as a Jew. I could pass.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, he kills these. By the way, when I was in elementary school, or maybe it might have been like 7th grade or something, like middle school. We learned about the Vietnam War. Okay,
Mhm.
we did like a whole section on the Vietnam War, and I remember they gave us a glossary of words that were used during the Vietnam War that
Oh,
like
God.
that we could learn. And I remember gook was on there. It was
Oh,
like
God.
this was a racist thing we called Vietnamese people in the 60s. And I'm like, you could have just not told us that.
You could have not mentioned that on the podcast just now.
Well, he said it
A little bit the same thing as them talking about it in the book.
He said it like already 4 times.
You're
so
right.
I
You're
mean,
right.
I'm just saying, like, but the only reason I know that word is I was taught it in school.
Yeah. I think you mentioned that before. Yeah, you were taught that in school.
Yeah, it's weird. Anybody else learn racism in school?
I'm
not talking
sure.
from your friends, like
I-
everyone was racist, but I mean like in actual class.
We're not taught about slavery in Alabama. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
didn't
hilarious.
exist, right?
I
Yeah.
100% believed it.
Yeah, that's something that would happen.
It was
Yeah.
like it was a both sides issue, though, right? For you, Logan, it was like, yeah, it's bad, but here's the benefits.
Yeah, we're actually taught the
Yeah,
benefits of it.
learning about slavery, that's critical race theory now. We don't accept that.
Yeah, right. You're not lying. That is like what critical race theory is. It's
I know.
insane.
All right. So we get out of Vietnam. They both die, right?
Yep.
Lundgren and Van Damme.
Shocking.
And then we cut to 25 years later or whatever. I guess it's 1992, right?
Yeah, 92.
The year this shit came out. Now, one thing I don't like about the sequel is it came out in 1998 and they pretend the events of Universal Soldier happened in 1998. That drove me nuts.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
questions about that, but then I dropped it.
Yeah. All right. So we're at the Hoover Dam. All right. I live near the Hoover Dam now, kind of, but I really only know it from Beavis and Butthead Do America when one of them goes, "Is that a goddamn?"
That's good. Did you see that SNL bit?
What
That was funny.
what
What?
about
Did the Beavis and Butthead SNL thing with Ryan Gosling from
Yeah,
like
that
a
was
couple
great.
weeks ago?
recent?
Yeah,
That was a couple
it's
weeks
like
ago.
I've
the fun.
refused to watch SNL
Dan,
clips. Like
It was so funny.
basically
It's
since they sung Hallelujah when Hillary Clinton
yes.
lost.
Well, there's nothing funnier than that moment. That's the best moment of SNL of all time, funniest moment. But I have to say, this Beavis and Butt, I hate SNL with a passion, and this was a funny clip. This
I
is
loved
worth
it. Yeah,
watching. It's funny. Plus, Logan
All
loves
right.
Gosling, so
I did.
what
I
about
respect a lot of the dudes on that show, like Bowen Yang and shit, Chloe Feynman, but like I just can't watch it. The writing is so bad now.
Well, this
what
one was
about it?
good. Check it out.
What about in Vacation 3, Vegas Vacation?
That's
When they go to
4.
the Hoover Dam. Okay, 4. What about when they go to the Hoover Dam and they go on the dam tour? Do you remember
Oh
that?
yeah, I do kind of remember that. We covered that on the show.
This is a cool
I-
action scene, though. I thought the dam part.
I loved it, man. They're using those eye things to shoot them from far away. It's like what is it? It's like a hostage situation at the Hoover
Yeah, we take a
Dam.
bunch of hostage. It's cool, like I don't know, all the like the big shots of them running down the. It's just really.
Oh
well
yeah,
done.
that was cool. You're right.
Yeah.
We're told that this is the third successful Universal Soldier mission.
Hell yeah, they're on a roll.
Yeah. So I mean, and this one really wasn't that successful because Jean-Claude Van Damme at the end like totally shut down and started thinking about Vietnam. So the Universal Soldier program kind of sucks. They've only had 2 successful missions.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, this one's successful. It just had one little mishap at the end.
Yeah, they saved the hostages, but I mean, these fuckers are already getting their memories back. Like, do better, scientists.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
better, Leon Rippey, or whatever that guy's name is.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah. The nerd squad, like they are just angry. And the guy who wears the beret, the one colonel guy who's like,
Yeah, it's played by Edo Ross.
yeah, he's like, hey, put them back in their tubes.
Yeah, I know. But the scientists in charge, it seems, are Leon Rippey playing Woodward. I was like, this movie has like this weird obsession with like Vietnam War era politics and Richard Nixon. We watched Richard Nixon on a TV at one point. This dude's name is Woodward, the guys that uncovered the Watergate scandal. Know what I'm saying?
Bernstein.
Was that
yeah.
Wasn't that a clip of Frost Nixon?
I don't believe so.
Oh no, because I felt like that was old Nixon being interviewed.
It was. Did he only do that one interview?
I'm pretty sure that's what that was, but I
Right,
could
we
be
never
wrong.
saw Frost, but it could have been that. Anyway, Leon Rippey's in charge of the scientists. He's like a Roland Emmerich regular. He was in Stargate and The Patriot. All right.
Well,
But you might remember him from Deadwood. He was good in Deadwood.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what I'm talking about?
I know all of these. Yes, I've seen all of
cool.
these. Yes.
Yeah. So, and then there was also this black dude, Tico Wells is the actor. And I was like, that's good that they got a black guy, but he's a scientist. He doesn't seem to like, he seems to kowtow to Leon Rippey about everything.
yeah, that guy's really in charge.
Like he's just their gopher or something.
Yeah.
And the only black guy in the second one is the train conductor.
I thought that they got a Universal Soldier.
Yeah, there is a black Universal Soldier in
At the
second one
beginning.
as well.
Busey kills
Yeah.
3 people, and
Oh.
one of them.
Well, there's a black Universal Soldier in this one too. We just don't see a lot of them. He's played by Tiny Lister from Friday, aka the wrestler Zeus.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Also, Michael Jai White shows up in this movie, but it's pretty much just a cameo. He's the guy that plays Spawn later on.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Spawn with the clown, with Johnny Legs.
Johnny Legs. Yeah, he played I think his name is just Clown.
Yeah, he's the clown. I'm
Yeah.
a big Spawn fan. I have like all the first 20 issues or something.
Yeah, I've read all of those too, man. They
Mhm.
were fun back in the day. You know, we were obsessed with Todd McFarlane. What's he gonna do after
Mhm.
Spider-Man? You
There
know?
was a big reveal in Spawn. Do you remember this, Dan? There's like the fourth issue, and Spawn has no memory of himself, but he's able to shapeshift, right? So like in the first 5 issues, he's like shapeshifting himself into a white dude. And then he goes and meets his ex-wife, who he can't remember, and then he meets her, and she's a black woman. And then the issue ends with like, "Oh my God, I'm black." And he realizes he's black because he meets his
Was
black
married
wife.
to a black
Yeah.
woman. I
Yes.
must be black. I was
What?
married
Yes.
to a black woman.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that. I thought he was just black from the start.
No,
Oh
he
my
did-
god.
He didn't remember he was black. It was like a reveal.
No, you're
and
right.
then-
In the first few issues, he's pretty much just Spawn all the time.
yeah, he spawned all the time, and then he shapeshifts to go meet his wife, and he turns himself into like a white blonde dude. And then when he's like, "Oh my God, I'm a black guy."
Man, McFarlane unhinged. He probably thought he was doing something really racially conscious there.
No, it was like, you have this bias. You just assumed the main character of this comic would be a white guy.
yeah.
I got your asses.
Yeah, but the way he did it was weird.
Yeah, totally weird.
That's funny. All right. So then we go to Ash Fork, Arizona. Oh, wait, no, that's after okay.
Can
So
we
we're
talk
back
about
at-
April O'Neil? I mean,
Yeah,
Veronica
please.
Roberts.
All right, so that's Allie Walker, TV's Allie Walker. Do you know her, Tim?
I looked her up.
You ever
She
watch
looked-
any of her many TV shows?
I looked her up and then was like, I guess she's in a bunch of things, but she didn't stand out. And yeah, I mean, I have to be honest here, guys. She came on and I was like, oh, she's pretty. And then I was like, oh, this is a 90s movie that's rated R. I'm like, are we gonna see some boobs? And then halfway through the movie, I Googled like Universal Soldier nudity because I'm like,
Oh my
there
god!
hasn't
What
been-
a fucking pervert!
I was like, there hasn't been any nudity. The part where I expected there to be nudity.
Why am I watching this?
Where
Not for
yeah,
nudity.
well, there's a part where they like bust through the hotel wall and
yeah,
there's
that
like
couple.
this young couple.
Yeah, they're
and I'm
fucking.
like, well, this is where we'll see boobs and then we don't see any boobs.
No,
and I'm
they
like-
they show us listen, you see Jean-Claude's buns, and you be happy about that. All right.
I mean, I was fine
Yeah.
looking at his buns, but I had seen them many a times. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna.
Well, you know what
counteract
else you've seen many a time? Random blonde actress from the '90s boobs.
Okay, well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Was it my fault to expect a movie from
Yes.
1992 rated R would not?
I guess
have any
not.
boobs in it. Like,
There's no Roland Emmerich film with boobs in it. That's just not what he does. He's not a
Oh.
pervert.
oh, just
Yeah, I don't think
friends.
it's that weird a thought from you. It's maybe weird to Google it, but
I think it's
I mean-
I think it's very weird to Google it and then to talk about that Google search on a podcast.
you were
Hold on.
talking about reading in history books, but terrible words. I think this is okay. But I never once thought there was going to be nudity. I don't know why.
It
I-
never
I-
occurred to me either.
there's-
Because
Yeah.
she's sort of like a Meg Ryan type. and,
Yeah,
like,
she
Meg
never-
Ryan didn't really show her boobs.
there's
Really
a
No,
I
she
mean, but
did
there's-
once, I think.
there's
Okay.
so many
In the
parts-
cut. Check out In the Cut.
That's what I thought. I thought there was one instance of it.
Yeah.
There's no nudity, but there's so many parts where she's on her knees, like, and
Yeah.
he's nude, and she's just looking
make
at his
jokes.
dong.
But
Yeah.
he's the sex object of the film. Like,
Well,
she-
I understand.
Listen, I respect this movie because there's no romance between her and Jean-Claude. Okay, like
Yeah.
the second movie just decides that it was a romance all along. But in the first movie, she is just an intrepid reporter
yeah.
trying to figure out what the Universal Soldier program is. All right.
And he is this big sexual being. Obviously, there are going to be jokes about it, and or she has to cut the thing out of his leg and stuff. But yeah, they really don't have like that much of a connection or anything. She's really more in
I-
it for the story. She does get wrapped up in it. And probably
I
care.
gotta say, I thought we were gonna see dong. Like boobs never even occurred to me. I thought at some point we were gonna see dong because all the Universal soldiers, when they're like sitting in those chairs and like the the little, whatever it is, Area 51, wherever they are.
Yeah.
And it like they're all completely nude.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many opportunities to see dong in this movie. They never show it.
Yeah, well, if it was made now, we'd see dong for sure. But 92, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
Can't think
about
of
it.
any
We're
other
still
dongs.
fucking. I feel like we're still timid about dong.
No,
Unless
but
we get
we're
Barry
seeing-
Kogan as the universal
No,
soldier.
but that's like fucking A24 shit. I'm talking about like mainstream entertainment. You're not gonna see
Oh,
dong in a fucking Marvel movie.
Well, there's no
Totally.
nudity now. We're like, for some reason, movies are less sexual than they ever been.
It's because you need fucking intimacy coordinators on set to shoot
Yeah.
a sex scene.
yeah,
I mean,
Jerry
movies.
Seinfeld agrees.
No, Seinfeld ain't wrong about this one, man. Movies are made for prudes today. And you
Yeah.
know what? Every time a movie has like a big sex scene in it, I do see people on Letterboxd going like, "Did it really need a sex scene?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
movies used to get me hard, okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would like for that to keep being a thing.
And this is why Dan he's most excited to see the John Krasinski's If, because his twisted mind. We're gonna see If dong.
No, this is why in 2024 I'm binging Melrose Place.
There's nudity in Melrose Place.
No, but they're constantly fucking.
I think now what it is, honestly, I think they make so much for streaming, like to be put on in the room with every family, that they just don't push the boundaries like that. They're like, well, we want our thing to be on, so let's make it.
Well,
family
I
friendly.
want things to be on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Hey, do you guys think there's nudity in Challengers? Like, do you think you see dong in Challengers?
No,
I bet.
I don't think so.
I think we probably do. Luca
think so?
Guadagnino
I would hope
seems
so.
like the type to include some dong, but I bet we don't see Zendaya nude because she's not even nude in Euphoria.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's a good question.
most
Yeah.
like I bet the nude scenes between the two guys.
Yeah, probably.
If there is one. Yeah.
I hope they dock in the movie.
Dog.
By the way, we got a comment. Ewan McGregor, he does show his penis. We have seen his penis.
I
before.
know. And you know what? Laura commented on this and she said he was in Trainspotting. I still don't remember that. But when she said he hangs dong in Velvet Goldmine, I did feel like a fucking moron. I remember that scene exactly.
So we used to get it a lot more.
Yeah.
If I ever became an actor, I would do it. I would show it all the time.
I would 100% do it.
Yeah, that's why I got a lot of respect for
I'd
Barry.
insist on it.
Yeah, this scene doesn't need it, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Can I tell you all the shows Ali Walker was in?
Oh yeah.
All right. If you want to see Ali Walker on TV, you got a lot of opportunities, gang, because in the 90s, she was the Profiler. Remember that show? Profiler. All right. Then she was in Tell Me You Love Me, which was that show on
Love You,
HBO
Man.
where they were fucking all. Thank you. I said thank you. Like fucking
Like a jerk.
no, like what was it in Friends? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Somebody said thank you.
Yeah, I think so. That's the first time I saw that trope. But she's in Tell Me You Love Me. That's a show where a lot of people are fucking. If you want to see Adam Scott's dong, check out that show.
It's a prosthetic.
Yeah. Well, because it has to come.
Oh.
Yeah, you see it come.
No,
Yeah,
but I've heard a podcast he talked about it's a prosthetic. So
no, I've heard him talk about it too, but it's still a pretty bold scene.
wait, you heard him talking you two to me?
Yeah, I think it might have been that podcast I heard this on. Yeah.
Mhm.
She was also on Sons of Anarchy. She was on like a TBS show or something called The Protector, where she played the titular protector. All right. She was in Taxi Brooklyn, which was a TV remake of that movie Taxi with Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon. All right. She was on Colony, which I watched like almost every episode of. I think I dropped in the last season.
Isn't that a remake of The Island?
No, it was an alien show with Sawyer from Lost. All right.
Shocker.
And then I watched her in every episode of Ghosted, which was that show with Adam Scott and Craig Robinson a few years ago. So
and he has a
listen.
prosthetic dong in that one.
yeah. Ali Walker, I'm just saying, she's a TV legend.
Okay. Well, I like.
Does not show her boobs. Does not show her boobs. in this
Jesus
movie, though.
Christ, Tim. You know what, Ross? Don't let this guy on Ross Flicks.
Hey Ross, If you let me in, I won't be on a main episode ever again. How about that?
All right. So yeah, I think she's good. I like this intrepid reporter character a lot. She sneaks on to like Area 51 or wherever they are. And she gets caught. But
Her friend gets
Jean-Claude.
killed, and
That's
they like
right.
frame her on the
Her
news.
Here's the craziest part about this guy. So we see her. She's like a Maverick news reporter. She's showing up to her news report seconds.
She's like John McCain, a Maverick.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like Luka
Tiger
Doncic.
Cage. Speaking of Vietnam, but she shows up. She's like, "Oh, don't show my shoes. I'm not wearing the right shoes." And I bet Dan was like,
Shut up.
and then she's smoking, and they're like, "Hey, put out your cigarette before we go on air." She gives like the perfect news report, and the guy's like, after the news report, the guy's like, "I talked to our bosses. You're fired." And she's like, "Oh." And then the cameraman gets fired too, apparently, because he sticks with her, and then he gets straight up murdered, and she gets blamed for it. So
they work for CNA, which I guess is CNN.
Yeah, this camera guy should not have quit or like stuck with her. He should have.
But you know what? If he survived this fucking ambush, he would have. This is a huge story. It could make their careers.
Yeah,
and he knows she's a star. She'll be good either way. He can just latch onto her. He'll be good.
Also, meanwhile, spoiler alert, by the end of the second movie, she's still wanted for murder. Her name is not cleared.
I'm sure it will be.
His death is on her hands, according to the.
That's still a thing in the second movie.
Yeah, they do bring that up in the second movie. She's still like on the run from.
Better not be in the third movie. That would be a crazy thing to keep going
I bet it is, but it doesn't even matter because you know what this franchise is. The second and third movies are completely ignored by the fourth movie, which pretends that the first one's the only movie. And then the fifth and sixth movies ignore that fourth one too. And they're just trying to be requels to the original.
Yeah, this is like a real early example of the way we do things now with like Halloween, ignoring this and that, picking and choosing what we want.
If we were making Universal Soldiers now, a portal would open and both versions of Luke would walk out. And
oh my god! Yeah, multiverse Universal Soldier. Yeah, I just got up to the first reference of the multiverse in a Marvel comic. Okay, it's in like a comic from 1973, and I was like, "You're ruining it."
Yeah. Oh no. Put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah.
They would totally have multiversal soldier if it was.
Oh
today.
my god, you're totally right. Multiversal soldier.
That would be the way they would go.
But you do that movie, but then it opens up and it's all Jean-Claude Van Damme characters. It's Hard Target
from all of them.
Oh my god, I would love that shit. It's the twins from Double Impact.
Yeah, old version and young version of Time Cop, and then Kumite walks.
You got the guy from Sudden Death still in his goaltender gear. Sorry,
you got one Steven Seagal comes out.
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
Which one?
The one from Fire Down Below, or
I love him.
Yeah,
Fire Down Below guy is great.
Yeah.
The way Jean-Claude Van Damme never did sequels, he's like Adam Sandler, but for the action people. How Sandler never did a sequel until Grown Up.
What a legend.
Yeah, they're a little similar in that way.
I mean, the only sequel he ever made was Universal Soldier.
This is it?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel so grateful we get to cover it.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, wasn't he in all of the ones with all the action guys though?
The Expendables?
Those don't count. Those aren't like Jean-Claude Van Damme franchises.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
you know who else is in those?
Listen, he takes what he could get these days.
You know who else is in those?
Dolph Lundgren.
Charisma Carpenter.
That's one. That's
baby.
true. She's
the
wife.
First one.
The first one. Yeah, I think just the first one. But I remember there's a scene where she and Sylvester Stallone play basketball.
Oh, let's do that next. That's so exciting. I want to watch that scene on YouTube.
All right. Anyway, fucking. So Jean-Claude Van Damme ultimately helps Ali Walker escape. Okay, and then we start counting the days. The next time we see them, we get a little title card that says day 2.
It's like The Shining. It's Wednesday.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I actually loved that title card, day 2, because it came up like the middle of the night, like it was like 4 a.m., but it was day 2. I thought that was really, really clever and cool.
Yeah, because it's like it just turned day 2, like right
Yeah, that was kind of
now.
awesome. This movie's like really expert. I was blown away by how, because I knew he had done other things in other countries, but I thought this was like his second movie, and maybe it is, but it's very impressive.
I think it's his third, maybe officially, but it's his first American movie.
Yeah, and the action at the end, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna give it a 4.
No, that's a great fight at the end, man.
But the big truck action, there's like a big
that's awesome too. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
You know
a
what's
huge car chase between like a military vehicle and a prison bus,
and it was so real. It's like
and they're on that
visceral.
cliff. Honestly, that part is awesome.
It was like
'cause they're,
breakdown. You know,
they're
in
on
the
that-
breakdown.
Yeah,
totally,
I like also that this movie takes place in the Southwest, because this is the
Mhm.
kind of movie they place in like cities a lot, but that gives it a little different vibe.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because it feels like a road trip movie, even though it kind of isn't.
Yeah.
But they're like going from like gas station to gas station, roadside diner to roadside motel, and just getting chased by Lundgren all the way.
You know what is a
Looked like
bad
Terminator.
car chase? This movie does have a bad car chase scene where it's Ali Walker and the camera guy are driving, and it's like he drives for 1 second and then flips the car like instantly. Like there's no like buildup or anything. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna like accidentally swerve. He literally like steps on the gas and the car flips and blows up, and then he gets killed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did notice that. Also, like, why did he drive up that like ramp way?
Exactly. He made the worst choice. He deserved to die, to be honest. He shouldn't have quit his job to go be with her. Because spoiler alert, bro, she doesn't show her boobs. So like, what's that?
Oh my god. You're a pervert. You really are. And I'm saying this.
Everyone that listens to this, if you listen to this and tolerate me and Daniel, you're probably a pervert too, I think. Right?
Perverts welcome.
You wouldn't like listen to us and enjoy us if you were like not, I think.
Yeah, Dan's calling me a pervert, and I've heard like every episode of the franchise.
It's true.
I listen, I was taking a sip of soda. There's
Oh.
2 of you. I expected
I'm
you to
sorry.
fill that
I'm
gap.
sorry.
Thank
Well, we're
you.
making fun of you. I thought you were gonna punch back, but
Sorry.
you didn't
Yeah.
do it.
You're not. I am a pervert. Like, it's not making fun. You're just saying things about me.
Right. Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
Hey, Logan-
Daniel was exposing you. Tim's just saying facts.
Right. Spitting facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
What, people don't think I'm a pervert? Like, geez, okay.
I don't, because you've only ever had sex with one woman.
Well, that is true. Confirmed.
That's
yes.
crazy. But
Doesn't
that might
not
make
a
you
pervert.
more of a pervert. Like, because Tim's real loyal. Like, he's never gonna cheat. So I bet he
Nope, would
watches
never.
so much porn.
Mm.
You'd have to.
What is so much?
Yeah, what is
I think you're doing an hour a
If
day.
I'm- Yeah, no. Come
an
on.
hour?
What insane. No, definitely not.
An
I'm not
hour a
put-
day, 4 days a week.
I'm not putting up Logan
Huh.
levels of porn watching here. I couldn't name a porn star.
One.
what?
Name
Well,
one
I
current
could-
porn star. I bet you could.
Current?
Yeah.
No, I can't name a current porn star.
That's crazy.
I kind of buy that.
Let's see. Could I name a porn
Is
star?
it just because you're constantly
Jenna
revisiting
Jameson?
the ones from when you were a
That's
kid?
one. Jenna
That
Jameson.
you're still looking at Jenna Jameson?
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. No. Can you even find those anymore?
Yes.
sure you could.
You can find every porn
On
I
the
mean,
tubes.
I assume. I don't know.
Lisa Ann? Or is that another porn
Yeah.
star?
Oh, there we go. Oh, he watches
Uh,
the MILFs. Okay, I understand.
He loves
You're
nailing
really into
Palin.
Sarah Vandella.
I'm
D.
just.
Williams?
I don't know. Those names don't mean anything to me. Yeah, I think that's it.
Brandy Love. You know her. All the Corey Chase. I'm just trying
Julia
to think
Ann.
of adults.
No.
Yeah,
We could move on, probably.
I guess we could.
Can
Okay,
we talk about Dolph Lundgren? How fucking awesome he is.
go ahead.
I mean, I haven't seen that many of his movies, so I don't want to like say I'm an expert or anything. But I really do think between this and Ivan Drago, he's so good. He's not supposed to like. I understand somebody can look as good as he looks, but he's not supposed to be able to be like as funny as he is or as scary as he is.
Well, here's the thing. He's a secret genius. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah. He went to a good school in Sweden for like chemical engineering, and then he got the Fulbright scholarship to MIT.
Yeah.
All right. He's a secret genius. So I think like acting's like nothing to him.
I mean, it feels like it. I think I think he is probably the best ever. The best villain actor is what I said in my Letterboxd review.
I saw that and I was like, that is ridiculous. But I mean,
Who else is there?
Dennis
but
Hopper.
I think Ivan Drago is one. Yeah, Willem Dafoe.
No,
Ivan Drago is like one of the best villain performances, I think.
but
The physicality of it, especially.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we're talking about who they are physically, their face that they can do, and the way they deliver lines, deliver any type of line he can do. I don't think anybody can touch him.
So
really-
you want to?
I really don't.
You're looking for a heel who is buff that could beat Dolph Lundgren in acting.
Yeah, if you think about it in terms of wrestling, think about those types of wrestlers who look like him, who can do what he does, who can also be on the mic like he does. He's like
Be on the mic.
really, he's like Lex Luger, but if Lex Luger was the Miz or somebody like that.
That's
Those are
that
the
is
thoughts
great,
I had
honestly.
when I was watching.
Logan, this is a good point because also Dolph
you.
is like Dolph's at this point where he looks bad and he's typecast as bad. If he was a little softer in the face, I think he would be like a Jean-Claude Van Damme type, holding up his own movie as they would switch him
That
to the
jaw
hero,
is
right?
too cut.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's too Aryan, right? Like
Yeah.
he looks like too evil. And that's why he's the Russian, and that's why I mean they tried, right? He was He-Man, he was the Punisher.
That's right. He's good
uh,
in the Punisher. Guys, that Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren is still the best Punisher movie.
No way.
That's low
Yes.
bar,
Really?
extremely low.
It's an
bar.
I love
extremely
that
low
Thomas
bar.
Jane movie.
That
I mean, I
Thomas
don't
Jane
love it,
movie
but I
is
like
the
it a lot.
worst of the three.
That
I
is
don't
the
care.
worst one. The other
I love
one is
Thomas
better.
Jane.
Warzone is much better than
Yeah.
the one with
Ice Cube.
Travolta.
One with
in it.
Ice Cube.
What?
What?
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of Triple X. Isn't Ice Cube in Triple X?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, where did that come from?
I knew
What
Ice
does
Cube.
Triple X have Xander Cage is nothing like the Punisher.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought he was in the Punisher too, but
You think the Punisher would ever snowboard once? No.
No, you're right.
The
You remember
Punisher.
that Tom Jane fights Kevin Nash in that movie?
Yes,
No.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And he's got bleached blonde hair, so he looks sort of like Oz. You know?
Oh wow! I remember
That'd be great.
he ripped out some guy's lip ring in that movie though, and that always.
Yeah, I
scarred me.
remember that. Yeah,
He's
Backer
backward.
Dave. Sorry, I burped. Okay, so we're at a motel and a gas station. They're out of gas though.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, he pushes the car though, no problem.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just
that was
strong.
great.
He's like a RoboCop, I guess. Also, like at this point, I'm like, oh wait, maybe he's a RoboCop.
It is a lot of. It's very RoboCop.
But it's the plot of the
thought
Terminator.
about. Well, here's the thing. I think the sequel leans into Terminator shit. Like we have that little girl on the train who's like, let me teach you about stuffed animals, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like Hasta la Vista, baby, or something.
Well, that's
So-
T2. This one's This one's the first one. Like it's the man and the woman on the run from the bad guy who's after him.
Yeah, I guess, but it's lower stakes.
Sure.
But I thought about RoboCop a lot. I think this film has a fair bit of Verhoeven in it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, RoboCop has boobs in it.
Does it? No, it doesn't. Really?
I'm embarrassed of this episode.
Who in RoboCop? Are there women in RoboCop?
Yeah, his partner. You don't see her nude, but
Name one.
I'll buy that for $1. There's like stuff on the TV. I think.
All right, all right.
I don't know. I'm just
I don't
saying
remember that,
things
though.
at this point. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm still like 20 minutes into this movie.
Go for it, bro. We're waiting on you.
What else is
You
there?
are not. You won't shut up. Sorry. All right. I'm talking about them at this gas station. I like when they meet that pervert dude and they want to use his phone.
And his mom.
Yeah, he's like, Mom, look at this.
Oh, I hated them.
Jean-Claude Van
Yeah.
Damme was naked outside. and then he calls his mom like a pervert. I'm like, you called her over, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I hated
you
that
expect
guy.
him not to ogle. You expect your mom not to ogle those buns?
Yeah.
I was hoping the mom wasn't real and it'd be like a Norman Bates situation here. That would have been awesome. That he was just dressed up as the mom.
You remind me of the
awesome.
comic book store I used to go to as a kid. Like the the proprietor was this like nerdy, like heavy set dude with a mustache.
Shocker.
Yeah, I know. And his mom, he had this old mom who was always just sort of there, sitting in a corner.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think he like couldn't leave her at home for whatever reason.
Maybe she drove him to work.
No, man. I don't think she was like capable of doing anything. So he was like taking care of her. So he had to just like bring her to work at the comic book store.
She was just sitting there.
She just sat there
on comics.
No, just
being
staring,
shocked, being
just
shocked by
staring into the
reveal.
middle distance. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So they really fuck up this movie. You know what they do a lot in this movie? They really fuck up a lot of small businesses.
Yeah.
They're
It's
really not
sad.
giving a shit.
This
fuck up-
motel, that gas station later.
Yeah, that gas station gets totally blown up, you know,
Yep.
and that seems like a totally normal guy just running that place.
What about
Yeah.
that diner? They get all. They
I was
eat all
gonna
their
bring
food.
that up next. Yeah, he
Uh,
eats all that food, doesn't pay, and
I-
then like throws a bunch of dudes through tables and shit.
Yeah, he breaks their window.
Yeah.
I have to say that dude at the gas station though, that he's all offended that they say park the car, and it's like, park it where? You can just leave it here. But also that guy just sits at the door and listens to what he thinks is
Oh, yeah,
them
he was a
having
perv.
sex. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's like, mom.
But you know what? But
come
he's
listen
not
to
like
this."
he's not like turned on by it. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's
Like,
like, this
these-
is so unusual.
These assholes just show up here, start fucking in my little side room, and expect me to park their car. Fuck these guys.
Yeah, fuck you,
I'm
guy.
telling you, they treat small businessmen like shit in this movie.
Yeah.
It's true. I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the second one, they're picking up hitchhikers and like implying that they're gonna do sex stuff with them for $100.
Yeah, Ichabod from Patriot.
Ichabod rules.
Shout out Amazon Prime, bro.
Yeah, I
All
love
right.
it. I love seeing him. He's in so many things. That guy rules.
His name's Julian Richings.
Yeah, it is.
He played Bricks in the, the second movie. Sings a song for no reason.
He does.
that
I
Luke-
remember when he started singing, I said out loud, what am I watching right now?
I think doesn't he sing in Patriot also?
I don't remember that. Did they
Yeah,
go to like a
interesting.
karaoke bar or something?
Maybe he's a singer. He's like Creed from The Office, right?
Yeah, I guess.
He's like, give me a
so.
song and everything.
Or Sandy Cohen.
Sandy Cohen, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Peter Gallagher.
All right. So, I mean, I guess, well, we talked about those small businesses. I feel like that got us through a big section of the movie.
Yeah, let's skip to the end. Pressure. Right to stretch.
Well, can I say one of my favorite parts about it? I love at the end, she's like, well, it's been a couple days and I haven't smoked, so I think I might as well just quit smoking cigarettes. I thought that was like a great capper to the whole movie.
Yeah.
She really got
It
over
wasn't
because the whole thing, she gets fired. She shows up
Yeah.
late. She's smoking
Well,
a cigarette.
it
and
was
then she-
it was yeah, this Luke character is obsessed with the Surgeon General's warning, because in this movie he's like, smoking's bad, and then in the next movie he's like, you shouldn't drink and drive, and then
Yeah,
I liked
he
how the-
even says like the Surgeon General's really making
Yeah.
a lot of sense to me.
yeah, and it's so funny too, because the brother from Vietnam, right, like, hears this and then he's like, oh, you're not, like, he reacts like, oh, you're not supposed to drink and drive. Oh, how quaint. Like in Vietnam it was like a thing they just did, I guess. So
There's a lot of weird shit like that in the second movie. There's a line from one of the like scientist guys for the Universal Soldier program where he goes like Jean-Claude doesn't want him I mean, it's not Jean-Claude anymore, it's Luke.
John Luke.
But he wants he's gonna slap a lady like the fake Ali Walker, and he's like, don't do it, and he's like, oh, you never smacked a woman, guess you never had a day of fun in your life. And I
Yeah,
was like,
what
what
was
the
I don't know what that was.
fuck?
There's gay panic
Man.
in the next one too. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it's a really bad movie, like no
It's not a
matter
one.
what.
I don't think.
It is, I think.
It's totally a 1.
No, I thought the action was well shot toward the end.
I disagree.
Okay.
Although maybe that was the part I was looking at my phone.
It's true, yeah.
All right. We get our third great severed ear joke of the film.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
what, do you remember the second one?
Now I don't remember the second one either, but I was laughing at these severed ear jokes, and then the third one, I wasn't expecting there to be a third one, and so I said out loud. He holds up the thing, and I said out loud, "Can you hear me now?" As a joke, and then right after I said that, he goes, "I'm all ears."
Don't you know comedy comes in threes, though? They
I
weren't
know,
gonna stop
and
it,
they
too.
didn't do a fourth one. You're right; they fucking nailed it.
That's so
Um,
funny.
It's great. All right, so then it's day 3, and it's Utah. We fuck up another small business, but it's not Jean-Claude Van Damme this time. It's Dolph. He like throws some corpses around a supermarket.
That was that's probably my favorite scene. Him just holding up that supermarket.
I
Everyone was so
love that
captivated by it.
he directs his monologue just to like one random shopper online. Did you notice that?
No.
He just sidles up next to one random extra and just like delivers the whole monologue to him.
That was that guy's best day on earth. It'd be mine.
Yeah, honestly, I'd watch that scene every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Wake up to it.
Mm-hmm. Wake up to it. That's your alarm clock.
Yeah, that scene comes on the TV.
All right, and then meanwhile, Jean-Claude and Ali Walker, they stop at a VA hospital in Utah. All right?
Mhm.
Jerry
Well
Orbach
clothed.
is there. He still has his eyeballs. They haven't been donated to another person yet. He was, of course, an eyeball donor. I remember there were ads about it on the subway for years.
What? Just for fun, he gave his eyeballs away.
No,
Just
it
for
was like
fun?
when he was
After he
an
died, you
organ
idiot.
donor. Yeah. So when he died, they used his his eyeballs to give to another person.
Yeah,
And,
to a universal soldier, obviously.
but there were ads on the subway for years that were like, "Donate your organs." Jerry Orbach did.
Yeah.
Wow.
It said, "Be our guest. Donate your eyes to science."
Oh my god.
He was the
No,
voice of the candle. And
I
Oh,
know,
I was
but
thinking
it
that
was
was what
probably
you said.
more pitched to the Law and Order audience
Oh.
because that's shot in New York, you know.
I think Ewan McGregor was also the voice of the candlestick, wasn't he? In their live action one.
yeah, he was. Yeah,
He
in
was
the-
he
in
was
the
one of them.
New
Yeah.
one. Yeah, he was Lumiere, the candlestick. Yep.
I didn't see the live action one.
You never saw that?
No.
It's not as bad as people say. People like talk shit about it. I thought it was fine.
I've only seen
Cinderella.
Aladdin. No, I never saw that either. I saw Aladdin, Lion King, and Dumbo.
Jungle Book.
No, I never saw that.
Ooh, Jungle
what
Book's
about
one of the better
Cruella?
ones.
What about what?
Cruella. With
Oh
Emma
yeah,
Stone?
I saw that too. But that's not a remake. It's like a prequel.
What about
okay.
101 Dalmatians with Dr. Gregory House? MD.
Oh yeah, I saw that and 102 Dalmatians.
Ooh, there you go. See,
we
the
can
start-
cover that.
that's the start of the live action remakes. And I have to tell you, I just watched those with my youngest, and they're probably the best because they do the thing. They don't make the dogs talk. They're just dogs. There's no talking animals in
Yeah,
that movie.
there's too much of that shit in these Disney live action remakes. I mean, The Lion King is a disaster, man. Like
saw the trailer
the
for the
Lion
new
live action Lion King is worse than Universal Soldier 2.
That's not true. That's probably true.
uh,
It's probably
yeah,
like 40
I agree.
minutes longer too.
Yeah, it's definitely longer.
It's
Yeah.
way more than 40 minutes. I feel
And
like
it's
that
got-
movie's over 2 hours.
And they
That would be over
probably
40
have
minutes.
they probably have the
Or about
same
40
amount of music montages.
True.
All right. Well, yeah, because Beyonce. Remember Beyonce
And
was
Donald
so
Glover.
inspired by The Lion
Yeah.
King that she wrote the entire soundtrack.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. What an artist she is, guys.
I agree.
Yeah.
She is an artist. That's confirmed. Yeah.
Confirmed. God said so.
hmm
She might be the most overrated human being in history.
Well, probably just because she's like known as the number one person.
Yeah, I don't
Queen
know.
bee.
Listen, if you enjoy Beyonce, keep enjoying Beyonce. I just have not ever gotten it for 1 second.
Yeah, we're Team Taylor. We're He Swift.
No, hey, no. I'm not saying I'm Heath Swift over Beyonce.
All right. Okay. This is weird. Ah,
Oh, who do we like more then? Who's our
we're all
favorite?
pink. We like
Oh,
pink.
Pink.
Better,
We love
right?
Pink.
Yeah.
No,
pink.
we don't. I hate Pink too.
So what?
Because
Still a rock star.
yeah.
I've got my rock dreams.
Rock
Whatever.
dreams.
I think she says rock dreams.
Yeah.
No.
LA told me you could be a pop star. You just have to change everything you are. Remember
That's
that?
actually one of her best
Britney
ones.
Spears. She's so pretty. That's just not me.
Yeah, that's one of them. Anyway, and it turned out they were fucking with her even more than Pink. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we get jean-claude at the VA hospital. He's having like childhood memories at this point. By the way, you know who played him as a child?
No.
Jean-Claude Van Damme's actual son, Chris Van Damme,
Awesome.
who will later play a different role in the 5th and 6th Universal Soldier films.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
what? Why didn't they get his other son, Rob Van Dam?
Oh.
RVD. Yeah, they should have, man. Could have done a 5-star frog splash. All right. So they separate at this point for a little. They're going to anyway. He gets her like a bus ticket, and he's like, "It's dangerous around me."
Then the
which it
bus
is.
leaves, right?
Yeah, and then the bus leaves, and she's like there, but then like the cops are there too.
Yeah, funny reveal.
Yeah, so they get arrested. But this is when Dolph chases their prison bus. Starts
Yeah.
throwing like
Awesome.
grenades on it, and then she has to throw them out.
Yeah,
of the
what
bus
was
in
that? That was
time.
so
That
fun.
was fun, man.
Yeah. It was like
Um,
whatever Fast and Furious that is, 4 or 5, whatever, but it's like done better. You know which one that is with the
I
prison bus?
don't. Oh yeah, I think it's 4, and it's not done better. Jesus Christ, that scene rules.
No, I know. That's fun. But it reminded me of that same thing.
It is a lot like that. Yeah, that's how they start 4. I think.
4, yeah, if like
That's the best
tanker
part of
truck
4, and then
flips
it's
over
all
the
down.
thing.
It's all downhill after that with
Fuck
Braga,
you.
with
Four's
Braga.
underrated, man.
That's
Those
where Letty
chases,
dies.
those fucking car chases through that mountain.
no, the mine chases. Suck.
Yeah, those rule.
No.
I don't know. The Brian
Fine.
Dom fight, that's in that one.
Yeah, yeah, that movie's good.
Yeah, you really like that one.
Yeah. All right. So, what you want to talk more about that chase?
I'm
or have we
honestly
done?
surprised you were talked about as much as you have. You were like talking. I was like, whoa, I thought we were at the end. But I mean, no, this is
so
probably my favorite part. I think I said that earlier. But
Yeah, you did. We can go to Merrill, Louisiana,
okay.
and we meet Jean-Claude's parents, and they catch up and shit. The mom's excited; she's French. The dad's Rance Howard, and then
They're not
Dolph.
that excited though. Like they were kind
No,
of.
they're excited, but they're not shocked.
Yeah, he expected it. Dad did.
Yeah, I wonder whether they think their other son's dead, Eric.
Yeah, no
Well,
mention
obviously,
of that one.
they're like both their kids went to Nam. Maybe they have like 6 more kids who just didn't die in Nam.
Can
and
I
they
ask
were
you a
like-
question about Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the story they tell at the beginning of the second movie is that Dolph died in Vietnam, right? He was 25 years old, as we know from the beginning of this movie. And then the brother followed him there. Like after he died, he like didn't believe he was actually dead. So he went to Nam. And we're told Eric's the
Wait.
older brother. I
Yeah.
already think 25 is too old to be entering the military. So is this guy fucking like
No.
32 or something?
Wait.
Maybe
No.
maybe
I
he
think you have
did-
the order wrong. Older brother went to war first. Are you saying older brother went to war after younger brother?
I thought so.
No, older brother went to war because we see him get on the bus when he's a little boy, right? And he like waves goodbye to him. I think he goes off to war and dies, and then
Wait.
Jean-Claude Van Damme goes.
I thought that was Jean-Claude getting on the bus, and it
no,
was.
I think he's the little boy saying goodbye.
Oh, you're
to
right,
Eric.
because we're explicitly
'cause he's
told
the
Eric
older
is
brother.
the older brother.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mhm.
So Eric is going to war.
So he was probably about 25 too. They're probably both 25 when in the war.
Dan, I don't think you paid enough attention to the second movie. You should
Fuck
really watch it
you.
again. You should
Fuck
watch it again.
First one you
Yeah.
got down. Second one you think's the one.
I have to see a movie like 3 times before I know the movie well.
Right.
That's why I don't get references to stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta watch it again.
All right, so this fight at the end is fucking baller, man. If this was the main event of a pay-per-view, I'd be in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Jean-Claude does use the steroid thing, which I do think kind of hurts the message of the movie, which is that you need humanity to be a great soldier.
Honestly,
But-
Logan, the movie Logan is kind of like this movie. He goes and stays at a farm with some folks, and then he like injects.
you mean
himself
Eric
to-
LaSalle from ER?
Yeah, exactly, that guy. And then he injects himself with the serum to take on the guy that's like similar to him but bigger than
You
him.
mean Donald Pierce?
Exactly. Yep. And I got vibes of Logan a little bit. This
You
movie's like
always have
every
Logan
movie.
on the brain, bro.
This is a 5-star masterpiece, I think. Maybe.
You're just
Every movie mixed together into one movie.
Logan, you're just excited for the new Deadpool movie. That's the problem because you
You're
love
right.
the Merc with the mouth and you love Ryan Reynolds quips. You're just excited for If, starring Ryan Reynolds from the twisted
Yeah.
mind of John Krasinski.
Yeah, Logan's hoping that the next Deadpool movie is directed by Christopher Guest, and it's just all Ryan Reynolds improv.
Yeah, that
You
would be
got me.
amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
I
right.
would say
Hey,
it's crazy
okay.
we've never done Deadpool, but we've never got one request that's like, why didn't you guys do Deadpool? I love Deadpool.
No. Yeah.
I don't think our listeners are big Deadpool fans.
We got when me and Henry did X-Men, a lot of people said we should have done Deadpool in addition, but I simply did not want to.
Yeah, so you didn't. Good call.
Yeah.
But now we have to do it later, so you probably should have just done it.
Yeah, I guess so. But now at least we got one with Hugh Jackman in it.
Yeah.
All right. So closing credits.
Wait. We have to talk.
right.
Logan and I need to talk about this moment right here. Logan, the Thresher, how Dolph dies. It's just like that episode of SpongeBob when SpongeBob crashes his boat into Squidward and he goes into the Thresher and dies also.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were talking about, and I still don't know what you're talking
You don't
about.
know this episode? Okay.
No.
Whatever.
There are too many
Everybody
episodes
knows.
where Mrs. Puff is where he's trying to get his license of Mrs. Puff.
Well,
I
this
didn't
is
know
the
what
one
that
where
was
she
about.
When
gives
you
it to
first
him.
texted that, I was like, was Leon Rippey the voice of Squidward or something?
Yeah, I was wondering like if somebody was Squidward, but
Yeah, well, Squidward goes into the Thresher. If you Google that, it's a famous image. You'd know it. And like the
Yeah,
thing he
maybe.
goes into is called the Squidward killing machine.
oh my gosh. So what? He gets all cut up.
Well, I mean, he's a squid, so he does, and it's SpongeBob, so he doesn't die, but he goes through a thing with spikes just like that.
How's
So,
that handled though on screen? Do we see
He just
blood?
Like I think you hear screaming, and then SpongeBob drives off.
What the heck? No, I have no idea about that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a whole
All right.
thing, Daniel, where SpongeBob can't get his boating license, so he keeps
Wait,
taking
what?
the test.
Sorry, I
Yes.
wasn't listening.
Well,
I
SpongeBob's-
completely tuned this out.
Well, this might be relatable for you because SpongeBob, much like you, doesn't know how to drive.
It's
and
true.
Unlike you, he's attempting to learn how to drive, and he's horrible at it because he's mentally enfeebled.
Fish drive boats in SpongeBob. He's trying to get his license.
Nothing about that made me more interested. I don't give a fuck about this.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I appreciate that, Tim.
There's a lady named Sandy Cheeks. Does that do anything for you?
No. Can I get back to the closing creds?
Yeah, there weren't picture credits. Why'd you love
No.
it so much?
Well, I was excited because they used a body count song, baby.
wow.
Oh, that was
you know
a good song
body.
at the
You know
end,
body count.
no,
You know Ice-T, the rapper Ice-T.
of course.
All right. Well, in the early 90s, he formed like a punk rock / metal band called Body Count. All right.
Hell
and he
yeah.
was the lead singer. And this Body Count song, they're most famous for Cop Killer because they got in trouble for that song from the cops. But this song fucking rules. And the only words in it are really like body count and like body counts here, motherfucker, or something like that. And it's awesome. It's a really good song. I listened to the whole song.
All right, well, I'll play it as the outro, probably.
Yeah.
Ice-T's a big wife guy. He's always
Don't say
online
iced tea. You said
Iced
iced tea.
tea.
It's iced tea.
Sorry, Ice-T.
Oh,
Ice-T. I didn't know I said it wrong. He's a big wife guy. He's always talking about how hot his wife is. Coco.
Well, yeah, they had a TV show for a while called Ice Loves Coco.
wow.
That's true.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, they are an amazing couple. Like looking at them next to each other, like it's endlessly watchable them as a couple. But yeah, he very much loves his lady. I hope they're together forever.
Me too. And they have like bulldogs, I think, is what they do. So
Okay.
British bulldogs.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, British ones.
All right.
And ones that have hair that look like Whoopi Goldberg's.
Good job.
All right, listen. I was gonna go with 3 coming into this
No
combo,
way.
but what a delightful conversation this has been. Tim, I'm giving you shit, but this has been very fun. This podcast isn't over yet. I'm just saying. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh my God.
4, baby. Closer. Honestly, I'm not kidding. I think it's closer to 5 than a 3, maybe.
Oh my God.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking.
This is okay. I give it a 2.
No.
A fucking 2.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm doing
You
this.
think this only deserves 1 more star than the second one?
What if he gives them both
Yeah.
a 2?
Well, no, I get no. The next one's a 1. Maybe it's a 3.
Why?
I mean,
It's really well. The pacing is great.
I think it's at least a
the
3.
world building is awesome. The way they handle.
I feel like
the
I'd
opening, the closing, the comedy. It's
even
scary.
even
the
when I had
performances.
this as a 3, I felt that it was closer to a 4 than it was to a 2.
Yeah.
well, I feel like it's close to a 3, but I'm gonna stick with a 2 for now. So,
my God.
and if I don't get into
Ross Flicks, fucking turn this dude down, baby.
I'll go to a 3 if that's what it takes. But
Wow.
Ross, let me know, and if I have to up my rating, I'll up my.
All
It's
right.
close.
All right. Ross, if you don't let him on Ross Flicks, he'll give it a 4 on Letterboxd just for you.
Yeah, of course it will.
Wow. Selling your dignity for Ross Flicks.
I'll sell out in a second.
I
What are you
watched
talking
these
about, Logan?
movies on
You-
Ross Flicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Well, maybe I hated it because I had to watch it on Tubi with ads. Like maybe
Oh,
that's
why.
fuck. God
I'm sure that does
damn
play a
it.
factor.
Yeah.
Has
why.
to.
So
Yeah. But
Oh,
MVP.
when you said so, I thought there were gonna be more words, but there weren't. Okay, who's your MVP?
It's either between Dolph Lundgren or Ali Walker, in my opinion.
What about Jean-Claude?
Nah, too much. You know what I thought? Honestly, it's like what everyone said about Kristen Stewart forever. That's what I felt about Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's such like a blank stare in his eye, and it might be
But
intentional.
that's just this performance. In the opening scene, when he's a human in Vietnam, I feel like he's emoting quite a bit.
He's definitely better there, but I don't know. I feel like I just got nothing. He's not bad. He's not bad. Not that.
yes, he is bad. He's not a
He
good
is
actor.
not. He is a good actor, dude. I just watched JCVD, and he is absolutely spectacular in that movie.
Yeah, in
not
a
even
movie
joking.
20 years after this, 25 years after this. Yes, I understand that maybe.
But I think he's a better actor than any of those guys. Like, I kind of think he's better than Schwarzenegger.
he's not.
That's
I
crazy.
know-
Better
I
than
know
Stallone.
That's
definitely
stupid.
better than Seagal.
Bad. Well,
Better
better
than
than
Stallone?
Seagal. He's better than Seagal. He's better than Norris. I mean, but he is the low. He's like there's Stallone and there's Schwarzenegger, and then everyone else is on a different tier, and he's maybe the top of the next tier.
He's
Yeah.
got to be the top of the next tier, but I think he belongs in that tier with those
No,
two dudes.
wrong.
He's
What?
in so.
Incorrect. Wrong.
I think he's in more good movies than either of those guys.
But as an actor, this
Here's
guy
the
could not
thing.
do Over the Top or Rocky or
He
Rambo.
could-
yes, he
couldn't
could.
do-
Yes, he
he
could.
couldn't do True
Oh, he could.
Yes,
Lies.
he
he could.
could.
No way. He's not funny at all.
Yeah,
But he always brings an element of humanity to his performances.
Couldn't do
Maybe.
Demolition
He's
Man.
always acting within the universe of the film. He's putting effort in. It's not just the same thing every
Yeah.
time out.
I get that. But Stallone in Over the Top, that's so sweet the way he is with that little boy.
Jean-Claude could do it.
I haven't seen him enough. I don't want to say, but that
He's
seems
sweet with
crazy.
his son in Sudden Death.
He's sweet with his
Alright.
twin in most films where he plays twins.
What was it besides Double Impact that you're thinking of?
Hard Target. He's brothers in
He
Time
has a
Cop.
twin in that one too.
In Time Cop, he's two versions of himself.
Yeah, that's true.
That's awesome.
That's how good he is. One of him in a movie isn't enough.
I remember
Yeah,
once
he
you
just-
told me someone in WCW was like, Hulk Hogan just wishes he could fight himself, another version of Hulk Hogan. That's all he would. And that's like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Eventually he was like, nobody else is good enough. Just do two of me.
Yeah.
That'll be better.
Yeah, but you know what? He has great chem with Dennis Rodman and Double Team.
Okay. Yeah.
What are you
The
laughing at?
the worm from NWO, right?
No, yes, that is true. I forgot that Dennis Rodman's NWO for life.
I'll go
All right.
Lundgren. Who MVP? Who you guys going with?
I'm
Yeah,
going with
Dol-
Jean-Claude.
I'm going with Dolph.
I love it. I love
All
it.
right.
LVP. Okay. I'm either going with that man from the motel with the mom, or this guy GR76, played by Ralph Moeller. He's another one of the Universal Soldiers, and I thought.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. That dude's a blank slate. I mean, they have a really hard time casting Universal Soldier opponents for Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He's
other
big, but his
than
face
Dolph
was,
Lundgren.
he could not do a face.
Yeah, because I thought there was like an Asian fella in this movie, Simon Rhee, that I didn't think was good either. And then in part 2, there's that bald guy that's going after them, and I thought that guy sucked.
Yeah, yes. So I think I'll go with this guy, Ralph Moeller here.
That's fine. That's a pretty good choice. What about you, Tim?
I'm giving it to Robert Trembore, who's
Love
the
it.
hotel owner.
The hotel guy. Yeah, that's
It's a
fair.
motel, but it's a big difference.
No, you're right. I liked everybody in the diner, and I liked the guy from the second gas station they go to. That dude is the worst of all the extra characters in this movie. The little support, you know, Roland Emmerich likes to give lots of little business to supporting characters,
But
Right.
and he's definitely the weakest. But
and I have to say, Motel Guy is head and shoulders above all the extras in the second movie. Like, there's a little assistant guy who like rolls his eyes at Gary Busey constantly, and it's like the most over the top acting of all time.
you mean
in
the
next
glasses
film.
guy?
Yeah, glasses guy sucks.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
bad.
glasses guy sucks. He's giving a poor name to glasses guys.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Nerd glasses guys.
Yeah, look, Tim, I thought you were going to give LVP to Ali Walker for not showing her boobs.
Well, I would consider I considered
Craziest
giving it
LVP
to
ever.
the director for not making that.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
You know what? I do think you guys have the right choices for LVPs, like those two. But I'm gonna go with Logan's guy.
Ralph Moeller.
Yeah,
Dumb
I thought he
face.
was bad. And you know, it sucks when Ed O'Ross dies because I like him as the leader of the Universal Soldier program. But then after Lundgren blows him up or whatever, like Lundgren's basically the only watchable dude in any of those scenes.
I agree
Yeah.
with that.
I-
But he's
I
so
agree,
watchable, it doesn't even matter.
No, you're not wrong.
But yeah.
Also, in this movie, we learn their funding gets cut.
Oh, this is a weird thing. In the first movie, they say they're not affiliated with the government. Like it's a government organization. Like they're all like from the military, but they say like if this ever gets out, we're gonna be arrested.
Yeah, because they're like doing, I guess, crimes against nature or so, or war crimes even. Maybe.
Well, they
Yeah.
don't report the dead bodies. They just use dead bodies from war. It's really illegal. Like, it makes a lot of sense why they can't tell people.
But like I thought it was like a secret government thing that like we just have to keep secret, like Area 51 and Independence Day or something. But like it's not. Like they're doing this against the orders of the government. But then when we go to Universal Soldier 2, we're explicitly told that they're working on behalf of the president.
Yeah, and
Yeah, now
it's the
they know.
CIA. We see it's CIA in the second one, and yeah, it's all.
But it's like the
messed
next
up.
day, I feel like, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. In 1998, because the
it
first movie
start-
took place in 1998,
It
apparently.
starts with the end of the. It starts with the end. We see like the flashbacks.
They
of the
do a
fight.
shot-for-shot remake. It's not
No, I
even
wait,
wouldn't say
flashbacks.
shot for shot.
No,
It's not
they
shot for
do.
shot.
But there's one shot where like you see it from the view of the Thresher, and they're fighting in the distance, and
Squidward
it
killing
is
machine.
it's exactly what it was in the
But,
first.
but we talked about how Veronica in the
And
in
they
the
have
first
all
one-
the exact same dialogue too.
But in the first one, she dies and he runs over to her body and checks it. Because I remember thinking, I was like, what's her body going to look like? I'm pretty sure I saw it explode. What's it gonna
Kim
look
was wondering what her body looks like too.
like? Yeah. And we go over and it's just like, oh, she's fine. And then she's alive. I remember that. And then in the new one, it opens up. She runs over to him alive. It's different.
All right, so that part's different, but
But-
a lot of it's the same.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys, let's move on officially to that film.
Bro, let's be brothers in arms, guys.
Get it? Because they're brothers.
Oh, right. No,
Yeah.
it's
great job.
titled Universal Soldier 2, Brothers in Arms, officially. All right, so Carolco produced the original Universal Soldier. They were the guys behind the Terminator movies and Basic Instinct and Total Recall. They had some big hits, but then they also spent a shit ton on all of those movies, and then a bunch of their other movies flopped. So they lost a lot of money and they went bankrupt. They tried to like reboot themselves in 1995 with Cutthroat Island, and then that was their biggest money loser ever. So that like ended them for good. So they sold they sold off all of their rights and shit. Sort of like when they did an auction of like all of the Weinstein Company's properties.
Yeah.
And shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But they sold the Universal Soldier rights to a Canadian TV company called Sky Vision. Okay.
All right. Cool.
And
name.
they were known for producing a RoboCop TV show in the 90s.
Oh,
You know
I
that
don't-
show?
I don't know.
yeah. I watched that show. I love RoboCop.
You know what I watched? Time Cop, the TV show.
Oh, I never watched that one, but
That shit was good.
I feel like the RoboCop show instantly brought back like the Police Academy show for me as well.
You mean the animated one?
Yeah,
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 I
'cause
loved that shit.
yeah. I had like action figures of the animated.
I did too. You
Who'd
can make.
you have?
I had Mahoney, and you could like put his legs together, and his hat
And-
came off.
Well, no, yeah, and Mahoney. I think his hat came off, but also his.
His
Oh,
eyes
maybe-
would pop out or something.
I had Zed, who is Bobcat Goldthwait's character,
Very good.
And-
I didn't have
and-
him.
and if you touched his back, his pants fell down, and he had he had heart underwear.
No, wait,
um,
I had that. I didn't remember until you said the hard
And-
underwear.
And then I thought it was Mahoney, but maybe it's who's the guy with all the guns? I forget his name.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking
His thing
about.
we always bring out like the biggest gun, and he was like the shooter guy of the cop force. And I think you squeezed his legs together, and his hand would come up in a
Yes.
gun motion, and the gun like snapped into his hand so that it would like do a spin. When
Oh
he pulled it
really?
up.
No, that's
Yeah.
not what I'm thinking of. There was another one where if you squeeze the arms or something, or you squeeze the legs, the arm would come up, sort of like halt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about who that.
All right. Anyway, Ross. See, you got Ross back because he almost picked Police Academy.
See, I would have been way more into that. I love the Police Academy movies. They're so good. Little
I've
Sweet
only
Chuck,
ever seen 3 of the 7.
3 of the set. I think I've seen them all.
Whoa.
Well, maybe not the last one.
No, I've
Mission
seen
to
the last
Moscow?
one. Yeah, I've only
Yeah.
seen the first 2 and Mission to Moscow.
Oh, so you've never seen David Spade in Citizens
No.
on Patrol?
No.
Oh my gosh, that's Cop Citizens on Patrol, by the way. That one's good. Yeah.
All
There's
right.
always a joke. There's always a joke where one guy thinks he's getting blown, or there's a joke in like 3 of them where the commandant gets blown during a
Yeah.
speech,
The
and
ghost
then
blowjob of the Police Academy films is the cop blowjob.
yeah, he gets blown, and then when he's done getting blown, he walks away, and then he looks back to see who was blowing him, and then like the guy who was under there sticks his head out, and then the guy's like, "Oh my god, I got blown by Mahoney."
Oh my god.
What is
And then
that?
there's always like a gay panic part where they send the bad cop, the guy who's mean to them, to the Blue Oyster Club, and it turns out to be a gay club, and then
Yeah.
they're like way too into like him. They think he's like a village person usually.
Yeah. Now, I've never seen David Spade in a Police Academy movie, but Tim, you've never seen Mina Suvari, so we're even.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
She's in Police Academy 7. I think it's her first role in anything.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah. I think that's the one I haven't seen then.
There
so,
you go. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
All right. So Sky Vision now has the rights to Universal Soldier. And their original plan is they greenlight 4 TV movies. Okay. But then they scaled it back. They decided, let's just make 2. And then if these do well, we'll do a syndicated TV show like we did with RoboCop. All right. These did not do well.
What?
Now, yeah. They aired on the movie channel. Remember the movie channel?
Yeah, maybe.
How about you,
I
Tim?
I don't.
You really
Sorry.
don't? I think it was a division of Showtime, but there was like a period of time in the 90s where like the main movie channels were like HBO, Showtime, Cinemax,
Oh wait,
and the
isn't
movie channel.
TMC? Isn't that
That's what it is.
Yeah.
TMC.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie channel.
TCM now is Turner Classic Movies, but TMC was the movie channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this aired on the movie channel September 26th, 1998. All right. Our director is Jeff Woolnow.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really just a TV guy. Like he never really directed another movie, and this is barely a movie because it aired on TV. But I mean, he's directed a lot of stuff I've watched, man. He's become a pretty decent TV journeyman. Tim, few good episodes of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. I
What a
noticed
nerd.
that hey, Battlestar's good, Logan.
I know you like it.
That was something Dan recommended to me, and during the pandemic I watched.
Wow.
And I liked it. I'm glad I did.
A great
'cause,
show.
Yeah, I know all about Starbuck and what's the main guy's name?
Apollo.
No, the pockmark face.
Oh, Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, what's his character's name?
Commander Admiral Adama.
Adama. Yeah,
Yeah.
Adama. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like
Okay.
all of them.
They're great characters. That's a hell of a show.
The bald
Maybe
guy's my favorite.
Probably my top 20 ever.
Hank?
The bald
Is his-
guy.
Hank? Is his name Hank?
No, it's not. I don't remember what his name is, but remember he has a slutty wife.
Slutty wife, eye patch.
Yeah, eventually. Spoilers. All right. And this guy also directed that episode of Smallville where Clark Kent takes the red kryptonite and then becomes
Gets
bad.
horny?
He's like a bad guy for an episode. He puts
Oh.
on a leather
Oh.
jacket and sunglasses, starts riding
Awesome.
a motorcycle.
That's the bad one. But hey, Logan, did you know there is kryptonite that makes Clark Kent horny?
No,
Isn't
I didn't
it
know there were
blue?
different versions of kryptonite.
I think that's also the red.
Oh, so he's horny in this.
So
one,
what?
then.
Green is the one that kills him.
Yeah, green kills him.
Green saps
There's also
his energy.
gold. There's also gold.
There's a bunch
And-
of different kryptonites, and I can never get them straight.
Yeah.
Well, because green would seem like the good one, but it's actually bad. It would kill him, and red would seem like bad, but it's actually good, right?
I don't know.
I think it was green because his costume was red, and they just wanted to differentiate Logan
Okay. That
in
makes
the
sense.
printing.
You
of
would
the
say his
original series.
costume's red? I mean, his cape is.
Red and blue. I don't know.
Well,
really
red and
more
blue.
blue.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's red on the shield, and I mean, he's not wearing any
Shield?
green.
Are you thinking of Captain America?
No, he has
you
the
mean
S
you mean
shield
the
on his
S.
fucking.
I guess
fucking
we do call
dumbass.
that a shield.
God
Sorry.
damn it, freaking! Oh, I'm the comic nerd guy, but I don't know shit.
I've been reading way more Marvel these days.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're like, oh, Shield must be Captain America.
Shut up.
Can't wait to see the multiverse.
Fuck you. All right. Hey, listen. The writer of this movie is Peter Lenkov, and this guy is a writing all-star.
Really?
Yeah. Don't even worry about it. See, I don't know about you, but I've seen Demolition Man a lot, and he wrote that.
Ooh,
I've
that's
never
a great
seen
one.
it.
All right.
See, you think Universal Soldier is good? You don't even know. Demolition Man
Really?
is so much better.
I actually agree with that. Demolition
No
Man's
way.
better. Yeah.
It is like you want to talk about 5-star movies, Logan. Demolition Man.
What?
If you thought Universal Soldiers was good, you will fucking love Demolition Man.
I know they've got a bar of soap, right? Something about a bar of
What?
soap. I don't know. I always heard something about bar soap in that movie.
Oh, I think everything's different because it's the future.
I don't know what I'm
Um,
talking about.
But anyway, listen,
There's
Pete
seashells.
Lenkov. Yeah, they wipe their ass with seashells, don't they?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. All right, 1993. Not only does he write Demolition Man, he has a story credit on the Pauly Shore film Son-in-Law. All right.
Oh my gosh, top 3 Pauly Shore movie.
100%. Then he goes into TV and comic books in the 2000s. He wrote the comic book that inspired the film R.I.P.D.
All right,
Congratulations
okay.
to him.
Starting to lose.
All right. All right. But then listen to this. He's developed 3 TV remakes of old shows. Okay. Hawaii Five-0, which ran for like 12 seasons. I watched 3 of them.
Dan watched 11. Oh God. if you say the show that I'm hoping you say, Dan, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Okay, we'll see. He did the MacGyver remake. All right. And he also did the Magnum PI remake. This is the man, Pete Lenkoff, that was like, you know what? Magnum PI doesn't even need a mustache.
That sounds like a dumb idea.
Well, those shows ran forever. In fact, I think Magnum PI is still going.
They couldn't find one actor who can grow a mustache.
Magnum PI ended in 2020. Only 40 episodes, it looks like.
What?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I don't believe you.
He doesn't
Yeah,
believe
but Dan, I'm looking
No,
on IMDb
you're
right
full
now.
you're full of shit. They're airing new episodes right now. It's in its 5th season.
Okay.
Whoa,
Well,
who's right?
IMDb's incorrect.
Well, I'm looking at IMDb too.
All right. Whoa, you have a sequel?
That's good.
Yeah.
According
Okay,
to my
but-
IMDb, it went to 2021 also.
Which show?
MacGyver.
No, I'm talking about Magnum PI.
Oh.
Oh, that's the one I'm looking at right now too. But maybe this guy left the show in 2020. Maybe that's the one I'm looking at.
Well, he still got a created by credit.
Yeah. Yeah, his credits on his IMDb says it only goes to 2020. He's involved in executive producer for 40 episodes. So that's
You know why? You know, I'll tell you why. Because
it changed channels or something.
No. He still has the developed by credit, but they kicked him off the show for misconduct.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know what he was doing. But
how many
lady.
How many episodes of Bull did he write though, Dan?
None.
That's what we want to know.
0. But he wrote 22 episodes of CSI New York.
All right.
Wait, Out Here in the Fields. That's CSI Out Teenage Wasteland. That's how I know that one.
What?
Every CSI has a Who song as their theme song.
And that one's Teenage Wasteland?
That one's Teenage Wasteland. Yeah.
Why? I don't think there's a single teenager in the fucking show.
It's just like, we're all wasted. Like, that's how it is. Oh, yeah. You know,
right. And CSI Miami, it's Won't Get Fooled Again, right?
Yeah, Won't Get Fooled Again. Yeah, CSI Won't Get Fooled Again. And then, man, I don't think I know CSI Cyber's theme song, which maybe it's Pinball Wizard. Maybe that's what
that's the most cybery poo song ever.
Yeah.
By the way, Pete Townsend, still waiting for that biography you said you were writing. That's why you were doing all that research on child pornography. I'm waiting with bated breath. Still waiting with bated breath for that book to come out. Looking forward to it, pal.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, God damn it. All right. So they hire this fella, Matt Battaglia, to be Jean-Claude Van Damme in the movie. Now, he was a linebacker.
All right.
That's
from South Carolina University.
He had a 3.78 average before he was kicked out for trash.
We should do that with actors. We should talk about them in the college, their college stats. That'd be so funny.
So, you know how Burt Reynolds ended up in this movie?
No.
I'll tell you.
Paycheck?
No. By the way, this is less than a year after Boogie Nights. No, he's
back. I mean, hey, he's using the power of a great performance and an Oscar nomination to book roles like Universal Soldier.
No, see, he did this as a favor to Matt Battaglia, who he knew as a child because Burt Reynolds was on the same college football team as Matt Battaglia's dad.
Whoa.
Whoa. In The Longest Yard, they were in prison together.
No, but that's a fun fact, isn't it?
That's a very fun fact. I was like, why is he in this movie? So that makes a lot of sense.
All right, so it would have made more sense to do 2 and 3 on the same episode because they shot concurrently over the course of 2 months at the end of 1997.
Oh.
But that's just not how things worked out.
Does that one take place right after this one? They're all just like boom, boom, boom right after.
Yes.
And Burt Reynolds is
2
on
and 3
the cover.
are connected.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds is on the cover.
Right, the same way
third one.
Gary Busey is on the cover of this one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But then remember, all the other ones ignored those.
Right.
Yeah. Thankfully, honestly, thankfully. And
I'm gonna miss Veronica. I gotta be honest. She's a cool character.
no, I agree. Allie Walker. Well, I fucking hated Veronica in the second one.
It's fine.
She might be my LVP, the lady that played Veronica.
Maybe.
You liked her?
I thought she had a little bit of that. I mean, no, because that woman's a good actor. But whoever's in the Back to the Future movie, she reminded me of that.
Elizabeth Shue?
She reminded me of Shue a little bit.
She reminded me more of Erica Leniak, who Tim loves so much.
Jesus, what's your
There you
obsession
go.
with her this episode?
I gotta say, I did not Google nudity in this one because I was like, there's no chance there's nudity in this one.
I thought there was going to be more chance of nudity in this one because it's on the movie channel. So I was like, man, they probably can show shit on there.
Yeah, who knows?
But I didn't attempt, so didn't even look.
You were too sad.
Although and since I'm sounding like a perv already, did you guys notice the one part when that one lady got knocked out?
Yes,
showed a shot of her,
Tim,
and she had the craziest nipples.
Look up Universal Soldier 2 on IMDb. The
Logan,
header photo is that woman's nipples.
Totally, I noticed.
That's too. I'm looking at it right now. And I was gonna tell you guys
look it up.
Like it's the third image.
And
it must be the most
first.
searched.
Yeah, very first.
Not on mine.
Yeah, go to IMDb to look up
first.
Brothers in Arms. It's the first photo at the top.
No,
you have to scroll over.
It's the third one for me.
Wow.
I see two versions of the poster, one with orange, one with red, and then
no. I know what you're talking about, but don't click on all.
I'm not clicking on all. I'm not clicking on all.
I don't know. All right.
Where it says photos and there's 10.
Listen, between this 2020 thing with Magnum PI and now this,
IMDb
I don't think
sucks.
Tim. I just don't think you know how to use it.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah, well, I'm not accepted to Rossflix, and I don't have IMDb too like Dan does. So,
all right. This movie. All right, so we established that the Universal Soldier program started in 1953, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Then why in 1992 or 1998, as this movie says, have there only been 2 Universal Soldier missions?
Yeah, it seemed very new in the last one. So
it took them like 50 years to develop the fucking technology.
Why would they keep the bodies that long on ice?
I don't know. Why wouldn't they use like Gulf War shit?
Yeah, great questions.
Or like, why not some of the mercenaries that they have running around like Central America, like upending, governments and the CIA?
Tim,
why not?
Tim,
yeah,
you just sent us. He sent us the fucking the picture of his IMDb page to prove that the nipple photo is number 3. But if he just scrolled up slightly, he would also see that nipple photo.
No, I'm not seeing a nipple photo. I'm showing you. What are you talking about?
Logan, are you looking on your app?
Yeah, the IMDb
that
app.
might be the difference. I think he's looking at the desktop computer. Here. Yeah.
This is my computer.
Gotcha. You gotta get on that app so you can see some more nips.
Sorry. Well, I can see it right here. I can click on it.
Yeah, we were on the app.
Yeah. All right. So I was annoyed by that. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah. Then we do our like little remake of the first one. That's in the opening scroll. We get an opening scroll like Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like Friday the 13th, previously on Friday the 13th.
It's
is
also
a little bit like that.
The way they show it too, it's like watching it on a TV, right? Like there's like flicker and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like a recording of it. Like,
because I think the flickering images, they're showing actual shots from the original and they made it like unwatchable so that we can't see Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then we go to like the shot for shot remake.
Yeah, it's kind of artistically done, but it's It's really jarring.
No. Here's the thing about this director. He's really trying. There's a lot of shots in this movie that look like shit and are awkward, but I can sort of see what he's going for.
Yes, and I like the edit of we see one of the bags zip up and it says like their name, and then we see the other bag zip up and it said.
I hated that, but
it like that edit.
No, I didn't like it because they shot it in slow motion and that looks like shit. But
Okay.
but connected with the opening credits, that kind of worked. It's just like, you know, I agree with you on this. Your review of Late Night with the Devil is like, for every good thing you have to say about it, I have a complaint.
Mhm.
I feel the same way about this movie. I just have way more complaints.
Yeah,
Well,
there are two complaints to one good thing, whereas
Yeah,
that
for
movie
every-
is literally like 1-to-1 good thing bad
Yeah,
thing. I felt.
yeah.
Wait, what you mean for the two good things you could say about this movie? There's like 1,000 bad things you could say.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But there's like shots where like there's one thing where like the camera like pans around the train and it's like I could see what he was going for, but it looked like something out of Scrubs or something, like when they're cut into a dream sequence.
Hey,
And-
speaking
what?
of, he's no Superman.
Well, you should take that red kryptonite, man. Might get Elliot that way. All right.
Wow.
Fuck. Sorry for that very specific Scrubs reference. So but yeah, I mean, none of it really works, and all the establishing shots in this movie are like stock footage, and they look like
Mhm.
garbage.
Mhm.
There's one shot of an Amtrak train that just looks like a guy on vacation shooting the train that was about to pick him up. And then one of my
Yeah.
favorite things ever is Gary Busey gets on the phone at one point, and then it cuts to establishing shot, the White House.
Yeah. And any part of this movie I felt like I could have got on board with. I was like, if this is well directed, this is like a section, but there's like a part where he takes the car and leaves and she goes looking after him. And I was like, this section I could kind of like if they do some character stuff with her, we get to know her, spend some time with her, but it's all just like set to a song and she finds him and he's being taken away by bad. He had already encountered bad
You know
guys
what the
who like
song
take
is?
him off.
They play a lot of songs in this movie, but they wasted their entire budget on Spirit in the Sky. It's like
Yeah.
the only recognizable song in the movie. Everything
I thought I
else is
knew
like
it, though.
Canadian bands, but the one bang 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 bang
Mhm.
bang bang bang, you know,
Yeah.
that song is used at the beginning, and I was like that. I was like, so after that, I was like, man, this might have like a fucking soundtrack. But then like everything else is like Biff Naked. Every
Wow.
song in this movie sounded like a ripoff of the band Garbage.
Okay, I'm surprised by that because I thought I recognized a few, and I was like, "Oh, Daniel's gonna like that'll be the thing he likes about this is the soundtrack." But you didn't.
No, man, I feel like if you weren't watching much music in 1998, you wouldn't know any song in this movie.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. But I like that Biff Naked song, Spaceman, oh Spaceman. It was pretty bad.
This
I
the first
kind of
one?
did that. I kind of did that to the melody of a David Bowie song, which I didn't mean to. But yeah, it's like the one where like she's on the street running around. I didn't know what was going on in some scenes of the movie. Remember, she like pulls over her car and then is like looking at another car. I was like, what is this scene?
Yeah, yeah. There were a few. Yeah, I feel like there were some continuity things. I don't know.
I have a question about how the Universal Soldiers work established in this movie.
Okay.
And continuing the line of me being a creep, can he get it up? Like, is he like? There's a part where she's like teaching him how to kiss, and he seems like I feel like
He seemed horny.
it feels weird because I feel like he's a child in this movie compared to the last one. So her kissing him is like, yeah, but you got a baby brain in there.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm horny for, she never
It's like
really
that Emma
felt,
Stone movie.
she was never really horny for him in the first one.
No.
And now she's kind of at one point.
The parents at the beginning of this movie are like, I don't see if she's still like being wanted, then I don't think you have any kind of real future together. And I was like, is that something we were aiming for? They want a future together?
First we've heard of that.
Yeah.
But they are kissing, and he says like, "Oh, I think we're gonna need to practice that a lot more." So it seemed like he was like enjoying it. Like, so I do think he gets horny.
It's
I
weird
feel-
because he does violence completely instinctually, but then when it comes time, like they go to that diner to eat, like he has to like watch another dude eating to figure out how he's gonna
Right.
eat. Yeah. I think
It's
it's
so
real
weird.
rules. He
They
loves
follow.
food. He eats so many meatloafs in that movie.
And I feel like if
And a hot dog and an order of fries. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel well. Speaking of eating, we also learned that the mom has a strudel recipe that, like,
I didn't understand that line. There were like a few lines in this movie where I was like, what brain did these come out of?
she's like, "Oh, this is my strudel recipe. It's why they always come home." And it's like, what do you? He didn't come home for 25 years. Like, what are you talking about? He
I thought
died.
mom was funny. It's a little joke.
But I just hated that the mom wasn't French anymore. Like French
Yeah.
mom would never
Mhm.
make strudel.
Yeah, they were way different. I hated the new casting of the parents.
Yeah, they were
And
awful. And the dad was all like short and squat and bald now. And
he was all
apparently
like-
had been working on a fucking GTO for the last 25 years.
What
Yeah,
is going on?
Yeah, the dad looked like he was pressed too. Like he looked like a guy that would see an alien in a movie and like be like, "Oh, dadgum!" Like,
What a specific thing. Yeah, I don't know. But so Busey is the new man in charge. Gary Busey.
Thanks for
Awesome
pushing us
introduction.
forward.
awesome introduction. He has a slow-mo walk where he's like in the background, and then he's like, "I'm taking over command," and then he mows down the current soldiers, cries a single tear, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, that's the highlight of the movie.
I read that they shot this in Toronto, and Gary Busey during filming saw that they were doing a play based on Jerry Lee Lewis, and he'd already played Jerry Lee Lewis in a movie, won an Oscar for it. So he went up to the play and was like, "Do you want me to play Jerry Lee Lewis?" And they said yes. And so he just started doing a play during the filming of this.
What? No, people are fucking
Amazing.
weird.
Amazing. Imagine doing that, and you're like the lead actor, and it's your breakout role. You're Jerry Lee Lewis. And
I
then
know. And then Gary
freaking
Busey,
Busey comes in, doesn't learn any of the lines, just improvs the whole thing. does Universal Soldier scripts halfway through.
Yeah, it's
He's like, "You
great
should see
stuff.
this mechanical dog."
Oh, that's a Celebrity Apprentice reference, guys. Now, Battaglia said that he enjoyed the filming of these movies. He just didn't like working with Gary Busey.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
he was
way.
he was apparently difficult on the set.
Who would have known that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I
seem
did.
difficult.
I'll tell you what I did Google watching this movie. I wanted to find out when in the
Jenna
Gary Busey-
Jameson's tits.
No. I wanted to find out when in the Gary Busey timeline was his motorcycle accident, and
Oh.
appropriately and based off his face and what it looks like in this movie, it was prior to this.
No,
So,
absolutely. It was like early '90s, right?
yeah, it was like 88. is the
88.
time.
Whoa.
Wow, late '80s.
Yeah.
All right, that's around the time Matthew Broderick was running people down. All right.
Whoa. Matthew Broderick murder story.
Yeah. You know that he's because Matthew, you know how Matthew Broderick's really stupid in real life?
No.
Yeah.
That's how he killed somebody. He was in like Ireland or something, and he just didn't know that he had to drive on the other side of the
Oh my
road.
No.
I swear to you.
And just like
Jesus
that,
Christ.
he murdered somebody.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a disaster.
Oh, what a moron. All right. So
Ferris Goes to Paris would be a great scene.
That's great.
Oh my God. Do like a French version of Twist and Shout. It would be
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah,
All right.
except the parade's on the wrong side and it just mows down and all the
It
spectators-
mows down the whole parade. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like it's Charlottesville. All right.
Wow.
Oh my god.
What?
What the
You
references
don't like
we're
you
getting
don't
to
like having
today.
a Charlottesville reference in the episode?
May as well. Nobody's
I
listening at
wasn't
this point anyway.
expecting a Charlottesville. Let me just say, I wasn't expecting a Charlottesville person running through protesters.
I still think
Reference.
about it. Okay, so sorry. So wait, first, like before he leaves, they took out the tracker in his leg, right? In the first movie.
Yes.
But apparently
it's
they
back.
still have this thing where like you can like target a universal soldier, and if he's still like in one piece, he just like immediately comes back to like headquarters like a zombie. My question is, why didn't they do this at literally any time in the first movie?
Because it wasn't
Oh.
a thing in the first movie.
They
I know.
forgot
So
to
you can't just invent
Just
it for
making
the
shit
second
up.
movie. It's bullshit.
That's what this whole movie is, though. We just like make stuff up.
I think it's like the first rule of IT where like the number one thing is you should always restart your computer before you like call IT. And I think they just forgot to restart the computer, which is what they did in this movie.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, that's a fair argument.
It's
so
not.
they were just dumb in the first movie, and that's why you guys should drop it a star because
Yeah,
they were
after they
dumb.
took the
Bullshit.
stuff out, they should have reset it. They should turn it
Oh
off and
my
turn it back
God.
on, and then it would have done it. That's good.
It's nonsense. But yeah, he gets on that train with the little girl and she chases him up there. She's able to sneak on. By the way, why is Unisol base now in a freighter in the Chicago harbor? Because it was in like a base in like Arizona in the last movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
I know
can't
I have a
answer
lot
any
of
these
good questions about this
Yeah,
movie.
you do, and I can't. I have no answer for them. Like, I don't know.
All right. So she's able to sneak onto that base super easily because apparently they only have one guard and she's a female who's
Yep.
really horny or cold. And so she gets on her shit and sneaks onto the freighter. And then she's able to just like wander around that freighter like she's fucking Solid Snake.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
yeah, and she finds a bunch of shit, including the Universal Soldiers, one of which is the brother. We also, by the way, see the nameplates of a few other Universal Soldiers. One of them is William Stryker, the same name as the
Whoa.
character Brian Cox played in
It's not spelled with a Y though, is it?
X2. It is spelled
What?
with a Y. Yes.
That's a definite shout out then. That's crazy.
I think he pulled it from the comic from the 80s.
Yeah.
What's the line I like to quote from X2?
Do not go in there, Wolverine. Something like that.
Yeah, it's I always forget the beginning of it, but it ends with Wolverine.
Yeah, I forget.
Anyway,
That's crazy though.
yeah, it sure is wild stuff. So we find Jean-Claude Van Damme's brother. His name is Eric.
Eric. Jean Eric.
Yeah, and then we just sort of like, hang out with that guy for a while.
Played by Jeff Wincott. You know who that is?
No.
All right.
But I looked him up. Like, he's still working to this day. Like, he had a pretty all right career.
He was on Sons of Anarchy.
Is this
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this the best brother Eric, or is Corey Matthews' brother Eric better?
Well, that guy in real life was bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
But-
he was on behalf of Pickle Boy, guys.
yeah,
That's
he was
terrible.
a pro pickle boy guy. Oh yeah, that's
Pro
true. So
Pickle Boy.
so maybe this is the best brother Eric.
There have to be more.
No, here I remember the line. One day someone will finish what I've started, Wolverine.
Wow. Are you
yeah.
watching? Did you just queue up X2 and were you
No,
watching
no,
it?
But-
it occurred to me. Just
By the way, get hyped because they announced he will be reprising that role in Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Are you lying?
Brian Cox?
I'm not lying.
What?
I saw it
Wait,
announced.
now I might actually be excited for that movie.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Is
just
anyone else
expect-
coming back? Like Gene?
Yeah,
or
like
anybody?
yes, like
What? Everyone's coming back?
Like every Fox X-Men is pretty much back.
But
Holy
so
shit.
Are they
That's
going to
fun.
bring it into the MCU or are they going to do new
I
X-Men
think
in the MCU?
well, you haven't seen the trailer because it's like a big multiverse thing, and it sounds like
no.
it sounds like it's yeah,
Again?
it's Deadpool going through the multiverse.
Fuck
And
that shit.
in the trailer, they also show the fucking Loki timeline people, like the
Oh,
TVA or
no.
whatever. So
Oh!
But we get
Got me
Jean
excited
Grey.
with Brian Cox
Brian
and then
Cox.
got me unexcited just as
in-
fast.
well, in the trailer, if you pause, you can see Pyro, you can see Toad. You know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning.
The same
You
thing that happens to everything else.
You can see Lady Deathstrike and
Kelly who?
Did I say Pyro already?
You
Yeah.
said Pyro already. He's the kid from Tadpole.
Yeah,
What about Iceman?
I didn't
Ice
see
Boy?
Iceman.
Well, he
in
might
the-
have been
in the
busy. He might
trailer.
have been busy. He's a regular on the Rookie these days.
Oh, Ashmore?
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
get this. Guess who I think the villain might be is Cassandra Nova. Dan, do you know who that is?
Oh, that's very exciting. Grant
know.
Morrison character from my Probably my all-time favorite run of X-Men, Grant Morrison's new X-Men.
But also, they have announced that expect Chris Evans to show up as the Human Torch.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone
As
with
the
this
Human
shit.
Torch, though. He's not Captain
Dan,
America. He's the
Dan,
Human
What,
Torch.
why are we having nostalgia for that piece of shit?
Dan,
Why not?
we might get Michael Chiklis though.
Yeah.
I don't want him.
Yoan Gruffid, whatever his name is.
It's pronounced Griffith.
I always fuck it up. But is Jessica Alba coming back?
I don't know. They
Oh.
haven't.
Can't
I
we
haven't
just
seen that.
move on from this shit?
You say not to talk about nostalgia or whatever, but I think that fantastic Jessica Alba as she was probably one of my first crushes, the Invisible Woman.
Oh yeah, no, she's good. She's bad in that movie, but
yeah.
no, Dark Angel. Dark Angel.
No.
Imagine Angel, but
Stop trying to rewrite history. Jessica Alba is a bad actor.
No, but she's pretty. Like I didn't say
Yeah,
she's
so?
a good actor.
So she's pretty,
There's a lot of pretty people.
but not as
Okay.
pretty as Jessica Alba.
Oh, come on.
She's like in the top 5% of humanity, I would say.
But she's not talented in any way.
Right. You're right. I'm not arguing that. But I love her movies. She's in my heart.
I like Into the Blue.
Yeah, Into the Blue, exactly.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I guess there's a few good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
All right. I'm
You know,
sorry, I'm so
Logan
harsh.
loves
She's
Good Luck
lovely.
Chuck.
Oh yeah, Good Luck Chuck. What a great one.
I'll take Beyonce over Jessica Alba.
Whoa.
Yeah, because
Whoa.
I at least like a couple songs on Lemonade.
Yeah, and you're a huge fan of Goldmember, right?
Gold.
I love gold.
Yeah. All right. So what'd you think of the brother? I thought he was terrible, and I also found him kind of ugly.
He's a little ugly. I like how short he was compared to our main guy. They gave off like Woody and Buzz energy, I thought.
Which is weird because Jean-Claude Van Damme's pretty short. He probably would have been the same height as this dude.
right, but this guy was super tall though. It's weird. The weird
Yeah.
choice. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that big a fan. He was fine. I didn't hate him.
I thought he was terrible. He's my LVP.
Maybe. I kind of like the lead guy less.
Are you kidding me? The glasses nerd guy is the LVP of this movie. This guy was awful.
No, I think this movie's so bad you got to give it to like a main character.
Yeah, they're to blame.
Give it to the Canadian production company that made this movie because this is awful.
It is garbage, man.
Did you? Well, I loved how Canadian it was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say to comment on you. The main guy's bad too. He is really bad.
Mhm.
But what I had a question. Why is he doing duck face the whole movie? you know, he's doing something with his lips that like girls were really doing in selfies in like
he's
2009.
doing like Blue Steel.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Zoolander.
face.
He's trying to be
I think he's-
Zoolander.
Yeah, I think he's trying to do his face. I think it's like part of the impression is I'm just gonna do the look here because he's like I'm not as attractive as Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I'm gonna
Not
try.
by a long shot.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
like
I bet
just
this-
be
I
yourself.
bet this motherfucker couldn't do one split.
No.
He couldn't even get one. Standing, I don't think he could put his leg on a chair. To be honest,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, he couldn't do the Captain Morgan pose.
I don't know. What that is.
It's
Captain Morgan, the
it's
rum
an
liquor?
alcohol. Yeah,
Never
I
seen
knew
that
it because I
ad.
was a drunk once.
Yeah. So speaking of drunk, we have a massive product placement, and we know that it's
Oh
Canada
yeah.
because they drink Labatt Blue beer, and then they enjoy it because they
Yeah,
both
they-
need to cool down by sitting in
Yeah.
a beer truck.
Well, one of
I
them takes the
know.
top off, and the brother goes, "How'd you do that?" And he's like, "Oh, don't even worry about it. These tops, they're twistable." Did you catch
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, but was that a Vietnam thing? Because the guy, like, I don't think twist tops existed in Vietnam. Was that it, or was it like
They're just advertising that beer. That beer is so cool. You don't have to you don't need a bottle opener. You can just twist it off.
They
That's what I
might have
thought
been
they
a
were doing.
sponsor.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought that's what it was.
100%? It was okay.
They're
well,
like, check out this cool beer. You don't even need. It won't hurt your fingers.
This movie is super Canadian, though. At one
I-
point, the Ali Walker character says she used to borrow something, and I was like, "Get
Borrow?
the fuck out of
Borrow.
here!"
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I didn't catch
wouldn't
that.
Wouldn't the Universal Soldiers though be strong enough to just pull a bottle cap off a bottle
You'd think.
anyway?
Yeah.
Like they
Why
have
do
like
why do they need a fucking opener? It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I've seen frat dudes open bottles with their teeth. Surely the Universal Soldiers
Yeah.
can do it.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I don't know, but good point. But you like this hitchhiker, right? You gonna talk about him?
Well, that's Ichabod from Patriot.
yeah,
And
he's
he
Yeah.
good.
sung a
Your favorite
song. We
show.
already talked about him enough.
Yeah, he got cool hat. And
Cool
he thought he
hat.
was yeah. and
I couldn't understand why they were picking up a hitchhiker though. Like, why? How is that going to help them?
they needed him to drive their RV to like trick Gary Busey. And then
But
I
you
was
know
like,
what? He gets fucked over in the process. Ichabod.
yeah, for $100, it wasn't worth it. That I would
No,
thought
he
Gary-
gets like arrested by the government.
Yeah, I thought Gary Busey was gonna straight up just shoot him in the
I
head.
did too.
Like,
I thought he was going to cap this guy.
I was like, oh my
No.
gosh, this is not worth $100. This guy got screwed for just being a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
So.
I gotta say, between the hitchhiker and the main dude, this film is very Adam's apple heavy.
Really? They had big,
Yeah,
prominent
big,
Adam's apples?
Prominent
Yeah,
Adam's
huge.
apples from the both of them.
Whoa, I
Huge.
didn't notice.
Mhm.
What a good note from you.
Thank you.
Don't you guys think the climax was kind of crazy where we have Veronica karate fighting Gary Busey? Like that was weird, right?
Yeah, as far as
Yeah.
I know, she's simply an intrepid reporter.
Yeah, an ex-reporter.
And,
not
and
even
wanted
anymore.
murderer. Wanted murderer. too.
True. True. She's still on the run. On the lam, they call it.
There's a
Yeah, that was
part-
weird.
There was a funny part though where she kicks Gary Busey and they kind of like show the kick 3 times. Like it's it doesn't feel
they
like
do
the same kick.
thing in the first movie. They
Yeah.
they do it with JCVD during the final fight. They had like 3 high kicks in a row that weren't the same kick. I mean, I think he was using the same technique here. It just looks like shit because this guy sucks.
Yes, but I also wanted to say, did you notice the sound effect of Gary Busey getting kicked?
No.
He went this laugh made me laugh so hard. This is like my second favorite part of the whole movie. He gets kicked once, he goes, ugh. He gets kicked the second time, it's the same noise. Ugh.
Ugh.
And then the third kick, he goes, yeah.
Oh, I noticed the third one. Yeah, I thought that was weird.
It was a yeah. It was a yeah. It was so good.
The most fun sound effect in the first movie is the motel guy at one point shoos a cat away, and then you get you don't see it, but you get that little stock sound effect like
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I loved that.
You hear the wet
All right,
hot glass break.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be so
Exactly. I got nothing more to say about this shit. You guys?
It's like a reveal at the end where like we see Burt Reynolds' mustache and mouth, and then at the end we see like, oh, it's Burt Reynolds on the
I
phone.
thought he was supposed to be the president the whole time, though. And at the end of the movie, they just say he's like the CIA director or something.
Yeah, but he's not gonna be in any others, right? This is probably it for.
Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, he's not gonna be in the third
He's
one.
on the cover of the
He's
next
in the
Oh, you
third
said
one.
that. Oh my god, he has
They
everything to do
shot
the role.
these concurrently, so it's not like he had like he was only there for like 2 weeks, but he shot all his scenes for like both movies in 2 weeks.
This is like Fast and the
Also-
Furious. They're setting him up for the next one.
Yeah. And I gotta say, a lot of the shots of Burt Reynolds in this movie are from behind, and you just hear his voice. And
Mhm.
I think all those shots are just an extra, and he did VO.
Of course.
over it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
It's like it's like in Seinfeld when George gets the job working for the Yankees, and it's Larry's voice as the owner.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that guy's name? I forget.
George
George
Steinbrenner.
George
Steinbrenner.
Steinbrenner. That's
Check
so
out
funny.
check out the classic 30 for 30, the House of Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
That might be the
Unf-
best section of Seinfeld when he's working for the Yankees. That's so.
Unf-
good.
That is so crazy because that like
Unf-
coincides with Larry leaving and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, they couldn't make that today because of woke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't do
You
that.
can't make fun of guys like George Steinbrenner anymore. No one likes to make fun of rich white people.
Yeah, can't do it.
Yeah.
I also thought we have that Die Hard moment here at the end of the movie too, where you thought Gary Busey died from falling off the second floor to the first floor, and then he just runs at them at the end, and that's when they shoot and kill him.
Right.
just-
It is kind of like Die Hard.
I'm Gary Busey.
Yeah, that guy comes out at the end of Die Hard. You don't expect
Yeah.
it. And that's when he gets his triumphant kill, Family Matters. He finally gets a kill after he killed that little boy long ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reginald Vell Johnson.
Reginald Val Johnson, yeah.
Yeah.
Good call, Tim.
Great call. Anything else?
I thought the ending was
one
kind of
star.
sweet, actually. The Vietnam vet opens the jewels. I was like, oh, that's kind of nice.
It was fine.
All right. So we'll go ones. I don't know. I don't care.
I'm giving it a 1. You
That's
said you're
one.
going 2, man.
Well, I was, and then we actually talked about it, and they really just made shit up. I didn't really think that much into it, but a lot of the rules in this are not in the first movie.
None of it connects.
Yeah. I hope we get back to it though, because first I thought it was actually great, and I heard that Ross say at least the last one is great. He thinks.
Yeah, the last 2 are considered good, but
Okay.
yeah. So what happens is the 4th one ignores these and is a direct sequel to the first one, but then the 5th and 6th ones ignore that one and are also a direct sequel to
That's
the
funny.
first one.
And those are good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so, just for review, I gave this one a 1, and I gave the previous movie whatever stars Ross wants me to
Great job,
That's hilarious. Who's your MVP?
Busey.
Yeah, it's gotta be Busey. And the LVP, Tim, you're going with Glasses Guy?
give. Glasses guy
I'll
is
go the lead.
horrible. He is
I'm-
just rolling his eyes the whole time. It's horrible.
You're going with the lead. I think the lead's
Brother?
bad, but even worse than the lead is the female lead and the
Oh.
brother. And I'm gonna go with the brother.
That's
Oh.
fair. I like the female lead. Fine.
The one thing I forgot to bring up is Gary Busey kills so many people, and then he's constantly telling them, put them on ice. Like he wants to bring everyone back as a universal soldier. Like he kills the buyer, right? Like the buyer
Yeah.
shows up and
Oh
he's like,
yeah.
he's like, put him on ice. And he's like, no, never mind. Bury him in the dirt. I don't want someone that stupid.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And the reason he kills him is like, stop laughing at the Universal Soldier program. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, this movie, it was a movie that we covered. Next
yeah.
week on the show, we'll cover Universal Soldier 3, which also has a subtitle, but I don't
The
remember what it
Return
is.
or something like
No,
that.
no,
right?
that's the 4th one, dude.
What?
Yeah. Universal Soldier 3 is called Unfinished Business.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, but The Return comes out in 1999.
Yeah, but these both came out in 1998.
So they fit in another one. Okay.
Yeah. So next week we're covering Universal Soldier 3 Unfinished Business and Universal Soldier The Return starring Bill Goldberg. And then the following week will be Universal Soldier Regeneration and Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning. Tim.
And then The Expendables right after that.
We'll see.
No, aren't we
I'm-
doing spoof month, didn't we say? But by then it won't even be spoof month.
We're not doing
I think you
Spoof
guys should
Month
do Rebel
again.
Moon. You should do
I thought
Rebel
we
Moon.
said we were going to do Naked Gun.
Oh yeah,
after.
we should do Naked Gun.
But it's already the
Especially with
30th,
OJ.
and that's going to be 2 weeks from. It's going to be like mid-May by then. Is it even
All
worth
right,
it?
well, maybe not. Maybe we'll do that next year. We'll figure
we'll
out
figure
what
it
we're
out.
doing after this. It's undecided.
Yeah.
Tim, do you have anything to plug?
No. Listen to the franchise. Pay $5 for the Patreon.
Listen to the Take 5 with Tim and the Real
Oh,
Weird
yeah, sure,
Sisters. My
whatever.
favorite podcast. I listen to every episode. I
Guys,
love that podcast.
if you want to
Wanna
hear
know.
a great podcast, then check out their new character study on the Muggle Prime Minister.
It's
all
a good one.
So many unanswered questions. Part 7 of the Muggle Prime Minister. Great. Did he have a favorite color?
As someone who's read all 7 Harry Potter books more than once and doesn't remember this character existing, it is absolutely fascinating.
Well, I have to say, Dan, there is a chapter called The Muggle Prime Minister. And
Oh,
it's the first chapter of I think Order of the Phoenix, and it's all
Whoa.
from his
No.
perspective. I think it's supposed to be Tony Blair,
I
And
think
it's-
you're right,
and
actually. Yeah,
it's
it's
him
Tony
meeting
Blair.
Rupus Scrimjar or
So
whatever.
they're doing a whole podcast about Tony Blair?
I mean, I think so.
Because that's who that is clearly supposed to be in that book.
Yeah, I think they are. You check it out, Dan. I mean, you'll learn about it.
Yeah.
and tell me about it.
Mm. All right. So listen to the franchise this week on the Patreon. No Sunday Night Wars. We are instead doing something that we like to call Award Bros, deep dive.
What?
Yeah. And we're doing it on the year 2019. So we're designing our own awards shows that we think should have happened in 2019. And we're doing movies, and I'll do TV as well.
And these are not the 2019 Oscars for 2018 movies. It's the 2020 Oscars for 2019 movies.
Exactly.
In case anyone's confused by that.
Yeah. We're covering the films of 2019. And then we'll pick a hat at the end of that. See what we're doing next.
Yep.
Did I say pick a hat?
You did. Yeah. Pick a hat.
I meant like something from a hat.
I hope you pick a fedora or a.
It'll actually be all online.
I'll
also.
tell you
There's
what,
no
I
hat.
did pick a fedora once when I lived in Brooklyn, and it did not look good on me.
How long did you wear it?
I wore it twice.
Just twice, and then what? It
Yes.
sat on a shelf or something.
It sat on a little rack.
A rack.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So what else we got? It's because a girl told me it looked good on me in the store, and then I got home and I
got
was
tricked.
like, "Yeah, it did not look good."
What about one of those like Jason Mraz type hats? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I would look like shit in that.
What are
Mr.
those
A to
called?
Z, you mean?
A Kango
Yeah, Mr.
hat.
A to Z.
Kangle. Yeah, that's like the LL Cool J.
Yeah,
song.
exactly. I feel like you could rock one of those. No,
No, I'd look like
I
an
think
idiot.
that'd do well in Brooklyn too. Somebody wearing one of those?
No.
No. All right.
No. They'd get made fun of.
Okay.
So
And then
this week
Buffy.
also, Buffy's Angels. We're covering episode 18 of
We're getting close
season
to the end.
5 of Buffy and season 2 of Angel. The Buffy episode is called Intervention. The Angel episode is called Dead End. And then we'll have our usual "Hey, I'm watching" here, and where we talk about whatever we watched this week. I guess we'll compare notes on Late Night with the Devil for one.
Yeah.
And then we'll also have Comp Beast coming your way, where we're finishing up season 12 of Big Brother, a fine season.
I already finished it.
Wow.
And it's a great season. Better
All
than
right.
Big Brother 11. We sort of talked which one's better. 12 is better than 11.
I think 12 is better than 11. But 11 is Jeff and Jordan, guys.
differential though. Just
I
as
know.
good.
I know, but they're not there the whole time.
Right.
All right, so that's what's coming your way, and that's it.
That's it.
Anybody else? You
Blood
have
is
anything
delicious.
else?
Blood is delicious.
Yummy.
Psych. We're back to read our comments from Ross and somebody else who left a comment. And
Hey.
Tim's back too. Hi,
Hey,
Tim.
Logan, you could have just edited this in before, like you said goodbye, instead of saying psych, and then
Yeah, but we
you
had
could
such
just
a
put-
cute goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you could put the goodbye after this, right?
But this gives us
We're
a
gonna leave
chance
2
for
goodbyes.
a second cute goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Come on, don't you know?
I like
All
it.
right.
Don't you understand how this show works?
Jesus.
I'll try
we
to
should
be
have just
easy.
done this with
Nothing on the
ourselves,
cutting
Daniel.
room floor. I agree.
Well, yeah, I'm not usually on this one. So,
All right.
sorry.
Listen, I know the Ross note is long. I mean the whatever it is, fan mail, Patreon.
Fan
But
mail.
yeah, I know. But that's the title of a TLC album. Oh, I referenced them earlier in the podcast.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out.
R.I.P.
Okay.
Left Eye.
Yep. Okay, listen.
It was so funny when Tim thought there would be boobs in the movie.
Oh god, there was already too much talk. You know, it's been hours for us, but they just were fucking inundated with
I
it.
added back in the first quote, by the way, when he has the ears. He's like, "You'll never be okay after Ward. You hear me? Do you hear me?" That was I wanted to tell you
that. That's good stuff.
yeah.
All right, listen. Take the Ross thing slowly, because I haven't read it yet and I saw it was long.
All right,
He
Ross.
wants to edge.
Yeah, Ross Beck. He says.
No, Adam Copeland.
he says this was my request because I absolutely crushed Logan in fantasy. That's not how I remember
Did he?
it.
Did he?
No,
What was the,
no,
what was the
of course
score of the
not.
final week?
He won by like 300 points, which is kind of a lot.
300 points? That he crushed you.
No, not a crushing.
Hey, Dan, what do you think is like Logan's number one fantasy? Like, I don't know, getting like
be a
1,000 views on a
star.
YouTube video.
No.
Yeah, probably. No, I think he'd like wanna maybe like get his dick sucked center court at an NBA arena.
Mm.
What do you think?
What, like at halftime?
No. Just like, you're in
After
there
hours?
after hours. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
there's not like a bunch of people watching him and cheering.
No. He's not like that. I would be
Logan,
more into that than
Logan.
him. Yeah.
You can do it, somebody in the audience.
Oh, very. I think it's Rob Schneider.
Yeah, I was going for Adam Sandler from The Animal
Yeah.
when he
Oh,
does
right,
it back.
right,
yeah.
right.
Obviously. All right. So Ross, he says number one held up for me mostly on nostalgia. It's not Van Damme's best. What is his
No.
best?
Boy, that's a tough one.
'Cause this
I
one's
would
pretty
say
Street Fighter.
no, definitely not Street Fighter. I would argue Hard Target or Time Cop.
What's his best
Mm.
performance?
Maybe
Mm.
Double Impact. He's got to be two of himself.
What
But
about
Tim said there were a lot of those
JVCD?
like that.
Oh yeah, that's his best performance. You're right, JCVD.
Okay.
Because
all right.
there's one. I think Hard Target. He plays like French.
Yeah, he's
Creole or
he's in the New Orleans Bayou
Yeah.
in that film.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
say
awesome.
we're gonna get us a frog.
Yeah, and John Woo directed that. That was his first American film. There's a line in JCVD where somebody tells Jean-Claude, John Woo, he'd still be shooting pigeons in Hong Kong if it wasn't for you. And I was like, yeah, that's true.
Damn. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
He says, but certainly not his worst. It's freaking Van Damme versus Lundgren for crying out loud. What
Yeah.
else could you possibly need back in 1992? I have
Far
vivid
from his
memories
worst.
of sneaking into this movie when I was 12 and being completely entertained. Had no idea a ton of sequels existed until much later in life. And boy, oh boy, is it a roller coaster of a franchise.
Hey, can I just say 12 years old, Ross Beck? I think he's exactly the same age as my sister.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Also, but don't you think 12-year-old Ross Beck would enjoy seeing just a flash of boobs at
Oh
some
my
point
God.
in this movie?
Ease up. Jesus.
This is my favorite bit. That's so funny.
It's not a bit is the problem.
but it turned into one, I think.
Yeah, bits are good. Bits are fun.
This might actually be the one franchise where the final installment is the best. Who directed that one? Do we know? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm so curious what the final order is from you guys. I don't know why I had to say it like
right
that.
now, it's 1-2.
Yeah, spoiler alert. That said, what about you, Tim?
Yeah, I would go 1-2. I was trying to think of another franchise where the last movie's the best. And what about Star Wars?
What?
Well, oh, stop it.
Rise of
Listen,
Skywalker is
joking?
but
pretty
let me.
good.
No, I've got a good
Jesus.
one. It's not the last one, but the one he's talking about is the sixth movie in the franchise. Think about franchises where the sixth movie's best. Mission Impossible.
Mission
Mm.
Impossible, undoubtedly. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, well, you could argue Furious 6 is the best one. You could argue it.
Well,
You could make that argument, but you'd be wrong because Fast
Yeah.
5 exists.
Yeah.
What
you'd be
about the Muppets? Is that the sixth one, the Jason Segel one?
It might be, and that's up there. That you can argue that's the best Muppet movie.
You could argue it. I think I'd probably go Christmas one. Or the first one. Probably first one.
Oh God, that Christmas one, it gets everybody. I thought
Yeah.
you'd be on board with me on that.
No, I think
All
I
right.
ended. That was my favorite one. I'm
Yeah.
so curious. That said, I watched number 2 for the first time yesterday, and wow, it's the Room level of incompetence to the point where I
Yeah.
truly think it's unaware of how bad it is.
No, I think they were really trying. Like, I genuinely think that's an ambitious movie. It's just terrible.
I
It's-
feel the same way.
It is a fun, funny, bad movie, but I don't think it's like the level of. It's not like The Room where it's
Listen,
like.
I watched
You-
the first hour with my girlfriend, and we were laughing a lot. And then she fell asleep, and I was just stuck there with this fucking movie.
And then I had to watch it again.
Yeah.
It was
Now imagine.
wanna say
Now,
something?
now imagine watching it with commercials, guys.
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh
so sorry
my
that
God,
happened.
that is brutal.
Yeah, Ross. Talk to Tim maybe. There
Here's my
are
application.
quick edits with partial unnecessary slow motion at times. Yeah.
Yep.
Terrible dialogue, and the opening fight scene, which tries so hard to be a shot-for-shot redo of the finale from the first movie, is absolutely bonkers. There are about 100 punches thrown in the opening scene, and exactly 3 punching sound effects used repeatedly. It sounds like a bad 1992 fighting arcade game.
It does. Yeah. I'm with you, man. It's like what's a bad
Street
1992 arcade game? That's a good
know.
one.
Well,
That's
I'm just saying Van Damme's in Street Fighter.
I don't know.
So that's,
Beast Wars. Remember that one where your Killer Instinct was one? You're fighting as animals.
Rampage.
Oh, that one's
Does
good.
that count?
No,
Wasn't that
I
a
think
game?
that's
wasn't
like a
really
side-scroller.
fighting. You're
Yeah,
you're like
that's-
destroying buildings and eating
Oh.
people.
Yeah, that's a fun game. Hey, yeah, I noticed there were so many punches, and there were far more kicks in the original.
Yeah.
Because both those guys can kick real high. but I guess a linebacker can't really do that.
Yeah, they'd work with what they could. That's funny. Best parts of number 2 for me, it's the very confusing tear rolling down on Gary Busey's face when he executes the soldier at the beginning.
I was confused
so
by that
bizarre.
too. Yeah, I thought that would come back at some point, but it really
It
didn't.
was just a choice by Busey. He was like, I'm gonna work something up for a second. Wait.
I think he was just crying that day, and they started filming.
It's so odd. It's amazing.
He, I think he got booed at the play that he did the night before. It was still
Oh.
sad.
Are you kidding me? Busey on stage in Toronto as Jerry Lee Lewis. I'm sure he killed.
Yeah. He says, I very rarely laugh out loud when watching a movie by myself, but I had to pause for a laugh break here. Wow, I've never done that. I had to pause
When he
for a laugh
cried?
break. Yeah, I think so.
I've
with
done that.
Busey.
I had to pause Medea's family reunion when he farted for the third time.
Come on.
I'm not even joking. I was on the floor laughing, and I had to pause it.
When I was little, you know the part in Elf when he burps really loud for like 25 seconds?
Yeah,
That always
he
made
drinks
me
the
laugh
whole
so
cola
much.
at the
That
same
made
time.
you. That killed you as a kid.
Yeah, how do you do
Mhm.
that?
Crazy. That's funny.
He says, by the way, I laugh out loud all the time when I watch a movie by myself.
Good for you,
Yeah.
Logan.
Yeah. It's like the
I've
only
never
thing I
like
enjoy.
paused it. I'll just
No.
laugh and
Sometimes I have to go back though. I
No,
do.
yeah, but like the top 5 movie laughs in my life have gotten me so hard. Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
I mean, excuse me.
Hey, I'm the
Sorry.
pervert.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. No, they've like hit me so hard that like it was uncontrollable. And so if I wanted to follow the next like 10 minutes of the movie, I needed to pause.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm sure you would have been able to figure out Medea's whatever without if you missed.
But
10
that movie's
minutes.
a fucking masterpiece. I don't want to miss a second.
Watch it again.
I have many times.
It's like Hubie. Like every time it gets funnier.
But on that first watch, I'm telling you, that third fart got me so bad that like I like couldn't, like I felt like I was like suffocating. Like I couldn't stop laughing.
Can I tell you the 2 parts in Wet Hot that really get me? Actually,
Yeah.
there's a ton now that I think about it. But the 2, Paul Rudd when he has like the temper tantrum in the cafeteria is I think hilarious.
amazing. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
And then when Michael Showalter sits down with the girl from the Mighty Ducks and he takes off his jacket to give to her.
Oh, and they just like switch
Then they
sweaters
swap,
and then
and
they
like
swap
swap
back.
back.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, so funny.
There's a thing from the Wet Hot American show that I think about maybe once or twice a week that's just so funny. And
Whoa.
I don't know why, but George Bush shitting on the model is so funny to me.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
All
All right.
He says, when in the history of cinema have there ever been the bad guy? Have you ever seen the bad guy randomly execute people and in the next shot he's shedding a tear? Yeah, I mean, never.
Well, it really adds some pathos to the Busey character, maybe.
Yeah, what an actor.
Yeah.
He says, also, there's a completely unannounced cameo by Burt Reynolds, which you only realize from the close-ups of his mustache. He never
Yeah.
shows his face. Wonder why. He did show his face at the end, doesn't he?
At the end, but yeah, I did notice the mustache. I was like, because at first I was like, that voice sounds like Bert, and
I
then
knew
when
he
they
was
showed
in
the
it.
mustache, I was sure about it.
How did I know
But
he was in it?
I think maybe I told you or something.
Uh,
But
maybe.
anyway, Burt Reynolds, what a performance in the film.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
He
that's
says-
all I have to say.
He's the only actor to get a credit at the end of the movie, but not at the beginning, as if they're saying, "Yeah,
I
was
noticed
Burt
that.
Reynolds, but please don't tell anybody. Tell anyone."
No. It's like when Drusilla showed up at the end of that one Angel episode to turn Darla back into a vampire. At the end it says, and Juliet Lando.
Yep.
Wow.
It's a shocker. It's like you're like, oh my God, Burt Reynolds. I can't wait for the next Universal
Yeah, that's
Soldier
supposed to
movie.
keep you hooked, man.
It's a little how Ghostbusters Afterlife ends, and in the credits it says Sigourney Weaver, and then it cuts to like an end credits scene with Sigourney Weaver because she's not in the movie, but she's in like that weird.
That
post-credit.
happened?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't want to talk about that movie.
We don't have to. He
When
says,
you guys gonna cover Frozen Kingdom with my
It's
Whenever it goes to
Frozen
streaming.
Empire, sir.
when's it
whatever.
on streaming? Is it out?
Yeah.
yet?
Ross, get on
Yeah,
that.
Ross. As soon as it's on Ross Flicks, we'll cover that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys need to talk about my boy Kingo. I heard he's in it.
What?
Who?
Kingo, of course, my favorite Marvel superhero character, Kingo. He's of course played by the great HGH abuser Kumail Nanjiani. Yep.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
He's
How do
one
you
of-
remember that character's name?
He's
Kingo.
Like, even
literally
if I made an effort to learn it for jokes, I still would never remember it.
well, the
Yeah,
two
I will
most
now.
important the two most important characters from the Eternals, of course, is Kingu, my favorite, and then Pip the Troll, of course, who's in
Oh
the
my
end credit
God.
scene where by another great comedian, Patton Oswalt. So
Why'd they
wife
think that
murderer.
movie was going to be a hit?
Chloe
Yeah,
Zhao.
leave Kumail alone. At least his wife is still alive.
Dan, the end of Eternals ends with scrolling up in black. It says the Eternals will return.
I know. I watched it. I watched that movie.
So amazing, so good. They'll
haven't
never be
since.
back.
The Returnals. Should they more like?
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah,
Yeah.
they should make it just for that title.
On Big Brother, there's a thing called like the Revengers or something like
Yeah,
that. Do
we
you know that?
I know that. I do.
Dan, were you around for that?
Maybe I don't.
I think you
remember.
were. It's like Dan and I don't know, Davon. I don't know. He says number 1, 3 stars. It accomplishes what it sets out to do. Ross, you're underrating that.
I really think you are. Let
You gotta
let
watch it
yourself
again.
love it. He says it gets by on nostalgia. I don't think that's true. It gets by on craft.
Yeah, I'm not nostalgic. I literally hadn't heard about it until a few weeks ago, and I watched it yesterday knowing nothing about it, and I loved it. So I don't know. And he says number 2 is a 2. So bad you should see it. Stars.
No, it's a 1.
Mhm.
I kind of
Yeah.
agree with him that I mean you guys do too. It's like it's going for something a little bit. But
No, it's like watchable on some level, and it is funny, but like, it's a 1.
yeah. And Laura _ 94. Thanks, Ross, by the way. You ready for Laura?
Oh yeah, that note felt like it was gonna take longer, but go ahead.
I'm great at what I do. I don't know if you know that. I'm very get to the point. Get right to the point.
And
That's a
I
joke. I never
I
do
took
that.
a step. I took a step back. I had way more interruptions planned, but I
Do you have anything you want to say?
I decided
You're
to be
here.
a little more brief.
You
No,
wanna say
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Ross, add me, please. What do I have to do?
Please, Ross. Laura says, please don't feel like you have to put yourselves through the experience of watching bad children's movies on my account. I really wanted to voice my appreciation for Tim's contribution, which is always delightful no matter the subject.
Hey,
All right.
Tim. Shout
Is it
out
about-
to Tim.
We love kids movies.
Yeah,
oh,
because
this is the
she had
Daniel-
said
Laura's
on-
listening to them all. They're good. I started re-listening to them all recently too, and they're fun.
And Daniel said he wanted to do it again or something. Something made him want to do it again.
Here's what I'm anxious. I would love to podcast with Tim again on like a regular basis, like weekly or bi-weekly. Like I mean, even like that Sunday Night Wars show we do on the Patreon, the wrestling one, I originally pitched it as a project for me and Tim. And then Logan
I
stepped
said
up
no.
like a fucking champion because it's a lot of work.
The
Yeah.
world heavyweight champion, Logan.
Yeah,
Paul.
Logan
I
Paul.
would-
yeah.
I would love to do We Love Kids movie every week, but my current schedule just doesn't allow for my availability.
You should get the kid.
I don't
that should
want
be
to
quality
do.
time
I
with your
don't want
family.
to do We Love Kids movie though. I
No,
want, like,
I understand.
yeah, I would love for Tim. Nothing would brighten my life more if Tim all of a sudden one day was like, "I have an idea for a new podcast." I every day I wake, I hope I get that text.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know because I did have an idea for you, but I forgot.
No, but I
what
want to
was.
do it with you.
With me. Yeah, well,
if you
I'm
could
not
podcast
available
about
right
anything,
now.
what would it be, Tim? If time it was nothing, and you could just talk about if there was one show or subject.
Oh,
what would it be?
I do. We Love Kids movies with Dan. That was like the
Oh
best
my
time.
God.
That was so much
Daniel
fun.
doesn't
And
want
he
that.
he hated it. He hated it, but it was like situation and era and stuff. And we had a lot of fun episodes. We just hit a bad patch, and it was a bad
No, I
time in our
know.
lives too. It was
Yeah.
I was freaking sitting in my car in the middle of COVID, man.
With
Like
turkeys all around you.
Yeah, I remember
turkeys
that.
yeah. So
No,
Yeah.
that show is great. Like I think like listen to it on the Patreon, and all the episodes are still there, and they're handily collected under like a little section.
Yeah,
But,
you're welcome.
I think it would be a movie.
I was getting it. Thank you.
I think like a movie podcast. I always had an idea, and I kind of sort of did one season with someone else. But it was you watch the best picture nominated movies, and then like one per episode, and
Yeah, I've
then,
always wanted to do something like that.
and then at the end you do like a recap of all the best pictures and pick where they got wrong and all this like segments and stuff.
Yeah.
We're watching all the nominees from every year.
Well, I mean, yeah, you pick a year
Randomly, or you go in order?
You could do it out of a hat, or
Yeah,
out
I
of
think
in order is not fun.
I think it would be fun to pick out of a hat, like deep dive that we do now.
Like
Yeah,
you'd get all the best picture nominees ever and just watch those.
Well, yeah,
I
that
think
like
it's
the
a
winners?
great idea. We'll take a year at a time though. Go like watch five, and then pick out of
do
the
it
hat next
by
year.
year. Okay.
Yeah.
So the example I did like 1 or 2 seasons of it, and we picked the year of Crash, and so we watched Crash, and then we spent an episode talking about Crash, and then we watched the 4 other movies that were nominated.
Where
and then
did you do this?
I used to do it with my coworker at my old job, and now he hates me and won't ever speak to me again.
Oh my
So-
Is that true?
Did
Why
you
does he
sleep with
hate
his
you?
wife?
Yeah, this is not for this podcast. So
No, I want to know why he hates you.
I'll
Give
cut
me-
it
give
out.
me a hint.
I'm gonna cut this out. All right, we're back. We're back, guys.
No, we can include part of that.
no,
No, we're back.
no, I don't want that getting back to him. and then
All
I
right,
have to-
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he's
it's a
listening
good-
3 hours into this episode.
I would do that podcast with you.
It's a good idea, right?
It is a good
I
idea.
just don't. I wish I had the time. If things open up, but I'm currently 2 jobs deep, bro, and things are
Yeah.
looking not great.
Get rid of
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, I know, right? I wish I could, but I have 3 kids.
He's got
I'm
a
0
family,
jobs deep.
but he has
Oh,
a
wow.
family. We don't have a family.
I have an interview tomorrow.
That's nice.
Thanks.
At Google, the interview. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
internship. What's the interview? Oh, the interview is the Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah,
My bad.
I've got an interview over there in North Korea. It's gonna go great.
Oh, I just watched that. Not that bad, to be honest.
No, that's
No,
good.
I agree. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
All right. Are we still on Laura?
I'm so sorry. Tim's regarding Ewan McGregor's penis. We talked about this. I'm about 90% sure
Yeah.
it was in Train Spotting when his character walks down the hallway in Kelly McDonald's character's place. Crucially, though, and I'm slightly disappointed that you can't remember this, Daniel, it's very much in Velvet Goldmine when his character sings the Stooges' TVI.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
Thank you,
I
Laura.
remember it. There's a great cover of TVI on the soundtrack to that movie as well. But yeah, I remember. I could picture that dick now.
I feel
Oh.
like he's got a big bush in Train Spotting. If I think about it too hard.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not? Do you shave your bush?
I think
Yeah,
you
I
would
trim
if
it-
you're
I
shooting
trim
a
it down,
movie,
yeah.
right?
I don't know.
Especially
Train
for a
Spotting's all
man.
about guys that don't really, they're more into drugs than
He-
grooming.
But you want it to look bigger,
I
right?
think he's like super hairless, except for like a big bush, if I remember correctly. It's like bird's nesty. If
Tim,
I'm
what do you got
picturing it.
down there?
Oh wait, honestly though, I don't know if you see him naked. I think I might be thinking of
Tim, would you
Spuds.
answer my fucking question?
What? What
You
do
think
I
Tim
have
just
down?
talked about how he
much-
has no time.
how
You think
much
he's shaving on a
Fucking
regular basis?
pubic hair do you have?
I have some. I have like a man's grater. What's the man?
What are you saying?
Man, it's manscaped.
Manscaper?
Yeah,
Manscaper?
manscape. I got like one of those trimmer things. I trim down because I don't want it too bushy.
Here's why I
course.
wanted to know, because I think if not for his wife, Tim would have stopped having a soul patch years ago. Okay,
Hey,
but his
do you want to play everyone's favorite game, patched
Yes.
or no?
yeah,
patch?
you
No
have it.
way.
You have
No
it.
way.
You have it.
I am patchless.
Oh,
right
hell
good
now.
yeah.
for you. Good for you. That's
You're
what I
enjoying
like
the
to
summer,
hear.
summertime. Shave the patch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
but
you nick.
listen,
Sometimes you nick it, and it looks too much like a bad mustache.
all right,
yeah.
but listen, all I'm saying is the only reason he still grows a soul patch sometimes is because he met his wife while he had a soul patch. I would like to know if it's the same. If she wants you to keep your pubes at the level they were when she first touched that penis.
Yeah, that's a great question.
It is a
I
great
think
question.
so. Oh, and I didn't have the soul patch when I met her, to be honest. She requested the patch, and I
Oh
started
my
wearing it
God, I would have
because
dumped her. I
she
never would have made
likes
it
it.
this far.
She's like, "Have you heard of a soul patch? Can you grow one of those possibly?"
Yeah, she's like, "Well, try this out," and I was like, "All right." And then yeah, she
Yeah,
like
Tim
she
found someone just as maniacal as he is.
That's
she
the goal.
just I'll tell you right now, she just noticed that I had shaved the patch, and she's like, "What's going on? Grow it back." And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Oh."
God.
She loves it. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm disgusted.
Well,
Oh my
But shout
God.
out to your wife. You know, I
Yeah.
saw a
Yeah.
picture you posted recently. She looked pretty hot. That's good.
Yeah, she is.
All right. Should we? What else do we got? Anything else, guys?
Oh, there's
Um,
a
We do have two
there's
more
another
notifications.
comment.
Should I
There's another
refresh?
comment.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
oh, this is from Tim. All right. He says,
Well, I don't know which Tim it is. It
This
seems
is
it's
from.
not, you know.
It's just from Tim. It says, "I bet Tim did a good job and stayed on topic."
That's
Yeah.
all it says.
Did he have more?
I don't know. I didn't read it, but I mean that's a very bad prediction.
Yeah. That's all I see here.
Well, he
say
did a
said
good
he did a-
job, but he did not stay on topic.
Oh man, what a bummer.
We picked our topics and we stayed on them.